What's up? I really screwed this up. So, if you like make a live, right, and you set it up ahead of time, if you like click out of that window that you initially set it up in, I don't see how you get it back. Like in the YouTube studio, it's like I can see it all. I can't jump back into it though. It's fucking weird. I don't know why they do it like this. Okay. Very prepared, obviously. What's up, Hat Man? So let's see. Got some things we could talk about here. I got my my Moab taken apart. I guess I'll put that back together. It has this weird thing because I guess well, here it is. So because the tank is so closed off and closed in, there's really nowhere for any condensation to escape. And because of that, I don't know what happens. It kind of like, I think it like goes up into the top plate, gets into the battery. It's bad. And it usually only happens like with a really full tank. I mean, I generally wick my stuff pretty loose, intentionally. But a lot of my gear is like open, like exposed boro kind of system, so it airs out better, and like I don't have that condensation issue quite as much. But yeah, so the Moab, I had to take it apart and kind of dry it out and see what happens. Yeah, man. So some of the main things, like in the title or whatever, if any of you guys seen the Ultima, the Ultima is like, it's not, I don't, yeah, from what I could tell, JG did not design it, from Delro, but it's affiliated through Delro. Who's the guy that designed it? I think his name is Corey Tomlin. Was that it? I forget the guy's name. I could find it right now, probably. They're gonna be relatively mass produced, from what I've read, which is cool. But we got some like good images of it now, because as is, I didn't think it looked that good. I mean, like with the regular stainless steel cap, I'm just talking about like aesthetically, like the visual appeal of it, right? I didn't think it looked that sharp. But when they show you the clear cap for it, there's this really cool clear cap. Then it kind of pops. Then it looks good. Damn, I'm looking at one of these XO tanks in a Cubro and a clear Delro. Looks so good. I need to get an XO tank, or the RBA, not just the Boro. You know, it only makes sense that I get one. Although I can't even remember what the deck looks like offhand. I got some gear that was sent to me from Justin Johnson. Yeah, Corey Tomlinson. That's his name. And here's the RBA. I mean, it just looks really good. It has these two relatively small ports on the side. Oh, the clear cap. This guy asked if it's PCTG. Let's see if it is. Hopefully, it's probably PMMA. Come on, why isn't he saying it? I don't see a straight answer. Only clear one I want to do. Oh, he's not gonna make them? Oh, get the fuck out. Yeah, waist, what did he say? Waistline. Yeah, so it's like not completely clear cap. I'll show you. It's like partially clear and then partially stainless, but it's like a satin finish from what I could tell. I don't think this is a render. Maybe it is just a render file. Let's see. It's nice, right? So your wicking is just those two little holes there on the side. I think it's on both sides, I would imagine, but yeah, it's like half, the bottom half is just stainless, and then the top half is the clear. And then the roof of it looks even cooler because it's like, it looks like a thicker clear. It's pretty neat. What's up, Zion? Zion Vlogs. You got vape vlogs, my friend? I want to check them out if you do. Let's see if I got any more. This is what I was just talking about, the XO. XO RBA. Ooh. Looks out of focus, right? I don't know if that's me or... It should look sharp. Look at this. I thought this was awesome. Now, you guys know how Roz has been doing a lot of caps. We're still stuck on the whole midge thing, and I never even thought about it if some of these caps are OG unknown or not. I'm guessing it's both. I don't know, but EXO coming in cheap for wicked. Oh, really? What's it cost? I didn't even look it up yet. Yeah, I mean, that's probably what's going to have to happen from now on. China's going to have to make their designs, and they're going to have to be cheaper. I mean, for people to want to pay for the shit. €80. Yeah, that seems to be the average now. Like 80 or 90 to 100, that range. I mean, before I was having to drop basically like $200 every RBA I got for that little bit of metal. Like, what's up, Nick? I responded to your. I watched the same video you watched. Some guy I had never heard of before. He did a dope bar, or Mark Todd called it the doper in his review. Some guy did a dope bar review, a real quick one. I guess it wasn't a review. He was just kind of showing it. Didn't have any dialogue or anything, or a monologue. And you asked a question about how to get one, so I responded to that. If you look that up, Dr. Roy, what's good? I stopped buying high end since I got the X-Rose, but still checking around. Thank you. X-Rose devices. All I know is the X-Rose was a pod system, like a Caliburn type thing, like a Jewel type deal. Yeah, your best bet to try to get a dope bar is what I basically was saying is find out when and if Vaping Art's going to get them, and try to lock one in that way. a weird jump, in my opinion, though, to go from high-end to pod systems. I'm just so anti-pod, I guess. Well, mostly disposables, but pods too. I mean, it's just a little boring to me. You know, there's nothing like intricate about it or artsy about it. They're just kind of straightforward. That's that's kind of what I like most about high end is the designs and like the artistic merit. I care less about the value or the exclusivity of it. You know, it's just artistic. Like, look at this. What I was just trying to get at. This is like the latest Midge cap, like a BMM collab one. It's got a revolver like on the one side of it. I mean, these are cool engravings. I like that. I just posted this picture. I got this bike yesterday. I got 2 bikes on the way now. Yeah, it's definitely quick and easy. Sorry, you had a question, Nick. Oh shit, that's what I was talking about. Oh, you're about to ask. Should you call them? I mean, I guess, but you could probably just send Larry a PM. Larry Brams is the owner of Vaping Art. He's always responded to me, so I think you should be able to get a hold of him pretty easily. He's a nice guy. Vaping Art is actually a sister company to something called Blade Art. That's why like their symbol is like that point. I never knew what the hell that meant. It's supposed to be a knife blade. So it was Blade Art, and then Vaping Art stemmed off of that. So he's a little older. I mean, he's into vape stuff, but not like crazy into it. You know what I mean? But he gets all the best high end stuff. So, but yeah, his whole thing stemmed from expensive knives and stuff. So, what was I getting at? Oh, yeah, so I got this bike, this e-bike, and this isn't the one I originally bought. I'm waiting on a different one. It's called the brand is called Goat Power Bikes, and the model is the Power Goat V2, which can go like 50 miles per hour. But I'm still waiting for it. It's like they had all these orders, they're all backed up. Their time frames are jacked. Like they haven't got anything right. So they're all behind. And I just can't keep waiting. So I ended up buying this in the meantime. But it was a lot cheaper and it's a lot slower, but it's still something to have in the meantime. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I mean, I know I grabbed some screenshots and stuff. I think a lot of these are my personal pictures rather than. I got to go to gallery. We'll get to the stuff I was sent in a minute. I don't know how much of it I want to show off because I'm going to do reviews on it. I seen this listed this morning. This is a Jenna RBA. I never seen one like this. It's like a toxic one, but like, you know, the toxic titanium stuff usually looks kind of like wet. You know, it usually looks a little more glossy like this. This Moab 2, it's shiny, you know what I mean? Whereas this one is like more of a matte finish on it, but it still has that same toxic look. So this is a Jenna RBA. Now, if you were to buy this as a civilian, like someone who's not a hazer, on his website when he had them, This would have been like easily like $600. I'm not joking. Um, so this was listed for $200 um, from John Sepulcher or something like that. I forget his name. He had a mod on there too. I don't think I have a picture of that. Really nice looking. It just wasn't my color. It's one of those new SVA mods for $400, and definitely has appeal. Here was a Stickman on MMM. I never got to see what it finally sold for, but I think I talked about this before. In my opinion, it almost looks like it's an old mod. It almost looks like a SX Mini or something. I can't get the focus too good here, huh? Everything looks very out of focus. Yeah. So what else we got? I thought this was really cool looking. Still don't know what this is. If anyone knows what this is, please let me know. Uh, Theo Krischer, I think that's it. He's like a UK guy. He's like one of Mark Todd's buddies, I guess. He does a lot of DLC coatings and stuff for people for different brands, and he does a good job. He posted a picture of this. This is like a regular 510 mod. It looks like a friggin' Swiss Army knife or something. I mean, it's really neat looking. So like it's upside down technically, but so weird that middle part and even the body of it. Like I cannot tell what that is. Like a 3D print, but it's like yeah, I guess it's just 3D printed, but it looks like thick and like it's just very interesting. Never seen a mod quite like that. Oh, this is the picture. If you look at it from this side, this is where it what's up, Kevin? It looks like a Swiss Army knife or something. It's pretty cool. I don't know what that piece is. I mean, I guess you can detach it and turn it into like an 18350 or something. I don't know. I don't know what the whole purpose of it is, but or like this. It looks like a latch on the bottom. What the fuck is that? Are they the wattage buttons? Is it mechanical? I'm guessing it's mechanical, maybe. Yes, yeah, and it had the DNA 60C, yeah, that SVA, and it was Juma. I mean, it was for $400. I was tempted to get it, but it was he wrote that it was a black Juma, but I don't think it was. I think it was like it had like a lot of purple elements to it, and I just don't like purple. This is the only thing I have that's purplish, and that's it. Even this, I just don't like purple stuff. I like white. I like green, brown, orange. Earth tones, blue, teal. Just not big on purple, yellow. I mean, I'd rock a yellow billet box, like a Mick box or something, or a whoop chicken or whatever. Cool, cool. What happened to you, Kevin? You were gonna say something. Oh, you wrote something. Sorry, I forget about live chat. I had it on top comments or whatever the fuck. When's the mule coming? That's a great question. We shall see. It's probably going to be a little bit, although it seems like Charles is really moving along with his production schedule, which is good. I think today or yesterday was the last day to sign up for the fall master list. Hopefully, if you guys are anybody's in BMM, you took heed to that. I keep missing on what you're saying. Okay. Oh, so your SVA, you think you messed the screen up? Horizontal lines. Just a ribbon. Well, were you messing with it or something? Because maybe it's just defective and not your fault, and you can get Evolve or SVA to take care of it. It's funny, Kevin. Carbon fiber plates. Yeah. Yeah, this one, I should have took a picture. The thing is, I swear he wrote that it was black, but it wasn't. It was definitely like some purple going on there. I've been dealing with this. Like, I got this second battery for this e-bike, right? That doesn't normally come with it. It's like a new thing. And I haven't been able to, they forgot the screws for it, for the top part. So I have two batteries. So the range is trash without that. So yeah, they got titanium. I think I mentioned this once before that they were going to do this. Titanium control micro RBAs. So they came out with the clone titanium colored ones first. That's always sad when that happens, right? But here's an image of it. I mean, this looks a little bit more stylish though than the clone, obviously. Got a little bit more like splotches and stuff to it. It's pretty cool. You're more excited about my mule? Yeah, I am too, man. It's gonna be cool. I have more on that in a second. Is this too dark? Doesn't it seem dark? I should have had my battery charged. You know, I planned this live and I was so unprepared for it by the time it came. So here's like a bunch of them, different colors, a lot of greens. You can see they're like, he did something different. I mean, especially the green one and the teal one, they're like, on the green one, it's only on the bottom part. And on the teal one, you can see it's on the chimney as well. There's like blotches or whatever. It almost looks like it's oxidizing or rusting or something. It's pretty neat. I've never seen that exact thing. I've seen the blue and purple gradients, but not that. That's like brown or like a gold or something. So a few days ago, they came out with the clone of the Dope R. Yes, there's as expected, they clone VWM stuff usually within the week. So that's a thing now. This one is made from Rika Vape, which is the same brand that clone these 38s. Catch up on the chat real quick. All right. You wrote SVA. Took the bottom plate off. I took all the screws out. It pops into your head once a week. Yeah, I thought that would be cool, that video about what happens when you win. I thought people would be really interested to see that, because I know I always was. Because you can never, a lot of things, if they have an online website present, you mess around, like you map out what you would want in your cart and you put it in your cart or something like that. Well, with BMM mods, you can't do that. You never have a chance to like organize, like prearrange what you're gonna do and stuff like that until it's time to do it, and kind of like puts the pressure on, because you only have like 24 to 72 hours to do it, I think. So, or it might only be like 48. Um, I've heard in the past he's maybe allotted people like a week to get it together, but I'm pretty sure, you know, I can imagine him having got more strict about it as the popularity's grown. I mean, I don't know. And then you would have to forfeit your spot and wait till the next, we win again in a different drawing. So, but you don't lose your spot. So, like, if you had 4 entries and you passed on your, when you finally won, you'd still get to keep your 4 entries. So your chances of winning again sooner, you're not back to square one. Let's put it that way. Thanks, kid. Yeah, I mean, I don't generally play around with my expensive stuff too much. You know what I mean? It sucks when the shit breaks, though. It really does. Are they coming out with new variations of that art of the micro? In terms of like features, like designs of it, like the construction of it, I don't think so. It's just looks. That's what's been going on lately. You know what I mean? With Unknown too. Like, you get a design, you get an RBA that sells really well, and then they run with that and just tweak it with colors and stuff just to keep the momentum of it, which makes sense as in business terms, but as a consumer that doesn't want 100 colors of one thing, you know. Should you get the Control one or the Dope R? If you don't have either and never had either, I would always take the Dope over any other RBA that's ever been made. And I imagine the Dope R is just as good as the original one. I can't see them being that much different. But I did learn more about it this morning. And I think I'm happy with where I'm at with this. Because this is the only RBA that gives me that perfect mid ground of like not too loose, not too tight. It's just like right there for me. Because I feel like if I had like this set up in any other, I'm looking at this, but it's my other Ion. If I had the Dope with The dope size pin in anything else, I feel like it would seem too tight for some reason. But because that thing wicks so well, um, I don't know, it just works out. But the new one, it's got some bigger airflow options, and the actual like chamber of it is a little bigger, so it's a bigger deck. I think the best thing he did in the whole design was elevating the posts. That's the best thing he did with that updated version. Um, because of how low the old one was, sometimes it can make your coil legs a little finicky and maybe it wouldn't burn evenly or heat evenly. You could get a hot leg or something like that, be more prone to that. Um, I'm not someone that switches my coils out very often at all. So it's pretty set it and forget it for me. Um, I run them to the ground. So after I coil it once, I'm good for a while. So I don't wasn't like a frequent thing that come across my mind, like, damn, I wish these posts were higher. But it is good that they're higher now. Yeah, it's legendary, and they're both going to get great juice capacity because they're both on the smaller side. This is much smaller, though. This is super small, but that's not always a good thing necessarily. It's just wicks really good, and like the dope. Here's the other factor to that. Even though this may be smaller, the dope's juice flow ports are just they're as low as you can possibly get, and that oh shit, what the hell is this? They're um they're as low as you can get, and that basically means it's good to the last drop. I mean, say you're running out of juice, well, on a Mob Mini, you're like at like a quarter left, you're already running into dry hit territory. Whereas this thing, and it's like it's right in the center too. So I mean, like I said, it's good to the last drop. You can really you know, I've had times where I've ran out of juice, couldn't refill it right then and there, and was still just going with it basically an empty tank. Yeah, it's definitely just an upgrade. I mean, much in the vein that the unknown uh, or the Midge is an upgrade to the unknown OG. It's not enough that I'm gonna run out and get it because I just don't need it because I have this. People that like to collect stuff, people that only like one thing, or it's got or people, and especially people that never had a dope and would really like one, and preferably like buying new stuff, which I understand. Buying used RBAs can be a gamble. I mean, if somebody used like some really potent kind of flavor, that shit can get stuck in there. It could be pretty annoying to have to get certain tastes out, and it doesn't always work, or it could take a long time. So yeah, I mean, it was a great opportunity for people to get new one, like for it to have you know a rebirth, a resurgence, because it is the most sought out RBA. Basically, it's the only RBA that's still uh, it actually increased in value. That's the only RBA that's increased in value. Now, I mean over time. Now, not like initially. I think the unknown is the most high profit RBA that was ever done. People were willing to pay more for that than anything else ever. The dope um, never had that like crescendo of interest to where everybody was willing to pay anything for it. It never really got like that crazy. Like most people kept it around. It stayed around RRP pretty much forever. It's only been recent that like those numbers have actually gone up a little. seen one the other day selling for 300. That's like $100 more than what it cost brand new. So that was like, oh shit, you know. Um, they're only making the Bear Slayers. Who's talking about boots? Oh look, Kevin. Hey, did you see that Roseanville? Dude, that's what got me in. Not the only thing that got me into boots, but yeah, Roseanville's channel is what really propelled me into liking boots. For anyone that doesn't know, I won't take long on this, but Roseanville, he's a guy. He's probably like 30, and his whole shtick was he would get popular brands boots and break down like what they say about them, how quality they are, and then he would cut them in half with a bandsaw and show you the internal components in the shoe that make up the shoe to show you which companies are full of shit and which ones actually had good products. And that's what really propelled my interest in the topic of boots. But yeah, the Bear Slayers actually have. I don't have those boots, but I have basically the same. Well, I did a video on it already. This is almost the same exact boot. Geez, the color. Except this is the smooth side of Bison, whereas you can't see anything. Whereas the rough outside is inside on this. Well, for his boot, it's flipped around the other way so that the smooth side is inside. That makes it, or the pebbled side, because Bison is not like very smooth. But and his is a 7-inch boot. This is an 8. They're basically the same construction though. It's the same thing. People are like really like him or hate him, because he got a little sellouty as he's growing in popularity. He has like 1 million subs basically. Yeah, he does sneakers. He does different Jordans and basketball shoes and the Yeezy. I learned all about that. Kanye West made like a sock that was like $200, and then he changed it to being $20. Some weird shit. And what else does he do? He does like historical boots and stuff too, like World War II boots and World War One boots. The jungle boot in Vietnam, the bunny, the white bunny, or what are they called? Bunny boots that people wear like in Antarctica and stuff like that. It's interesting. All right, what were we talking about? They're only making 1,000. I'm assuming you're talking about the dope. If that, I don't even know if it's that many. I probably. It sounds about right. Something like that. I know it's going to be less than most of the other stuff. Because my friend Justin was asking me, he didn't know about it, and he was asking me when the next drop was, and so I asked this guy Quinn, and he said that they aren't doing anymore. So, which I didn't know because I'm not in the group anymore. So, oh, is that this band? Thursday. You have a nice 6-inch pair of what boots? Thursdays. Oh, thank you, Loki. Oh, Benjamin Tang, how you doing? Oh, so he's going to do another batch of dopes in October? Cool. Yeah, so And that would be about on par with a lot of his drops then. So from what I've always seen, he does like 2 or 3. And I know I was the last. I was on the last batch for the dope. I was actually the second to last person to win the dope in the dope drop of the last drop. And I forget what my number is. I think it's like 792, or even though it's like serial numbers, I guess, didn't match up with the number of slots or whatever, but you know. So I guess he made like 800 of these. But then I don't know if he did one more of those even way later. I'm not sure. After I won the thing, I made like a couple posts. I've only ever made a couple posts in the BWN group. I did probably a few with the dope, and then a few with the Imperia, with the Umod's Unific. That was a really nice pairing. There's two devices. Your friend just sold a Midge glossy black one. Is that the like the dark matter they called it or something? That's good. I mean, well, see it. That's what people always used to do. They used to always buy something and then immediately sell it. And I'm sure people still do it, but sometimes they'd get so ahead of themselves. Like, why buy it if you're not even going to use it once? That's where I don't understand it. Even if you bought it to have it for a week and sell it, at least then you could say you tried it and you just wanted to break even. But the people that buy this stuff and it's like new in the box and the box is sealed, like it definitely is new, it's like that means you just bought it and didn't do shit with it. Unless people buy a bulk of stuff, because that's a thing too. I mean, you could buy a lot of stuff in bulk and then, but not all products are like that where you can buy it in bulk. So it's like, where's the disconnect here? Like, I'm not getting why people are buying this stuff. Yeah, well, the problem with Thursday boots is they're all, I mean, to get something that's Chrome Excel by Horween in Chicago for a boot for $200 that has, well, I guess the 265 is the American made Thursdays. This is called Natural Chrome Excel. This is Oak Street Bootmakers. This is a company that's in Chicago, American made, but they actually have them made through Rancourt, which is a company in Maine that's popular for moccasins and stuff. But yeah, anything with Chrome Excel, a boot and Chrome Excel for like around $200 is a good deal. It's just the problem with Thursday is their insoles are synthetic materials. They're not leather. And that's like a big factor. Like that means they're going to fall apart faster and they're going to smell faster. Whereas leather, if all leather construction stuff, it never smells. It never gets nasty. It's pretty crazy. You'd think like your feet would get really hot and sweaty and in leather. Like there's no, like sneakers have little holes, little pinholes everywhere, mesh. So you think they breathe better? Leather magically breathes better than all that shit. So I used to overthink it. Yeah, I mean, so here's a speaking of mule, I seen this picture today. Whew. This guy Rocco. I cut out a couple. He had like 2 more BMM mods in this photo, but I just like zeroed in on the ones I like the best. So you got the mule in a splash color, teal black splash. In the middle, you got I guess that's magenta Stashbox R, and then you have a Borat R and a teal splash or a green splash, something like that. But I'm starting to. I used to not like the splash colors. Now I really like them. It's a vented Boro on this, which I opted not to do because I've been seeing more people with broken struts. It just makes the mod too fragile to do that. So I don't think it's a problem with the stash box though, because more of the strut comes around, so it's stronger. Yes, supposedly Charles made an announcement that he's not going to be doing. You're not going to have stylized acrylic buttons included in your orders anymore coming up. I'm praying that doesn't count for me since I already ordered it, but I know it's going to go into effect at some point where they're only going to come with like straight up stainless steel, like buttons and tips and stuff. Like they're just going to be real plain is what's going to happen. If you want acrylic ones and all fancy ones, they're going to have to be like an additional purchase with your order. He's saying it's to kind of streamline things and make his productions faster. I think it's a shame. I mean, it's not like he's not offering it anymore, but you're just having to pay extra for it. Because that's one of the big, think about it. Aside from the color and the shape itself, a BMM mod is pretty plain. It's not like the materials aren't that fancy or nothing. So having like some really colorful acrylic tips and buttons kind of brings the whole thing together, and that's what makes it so much more special. If he didn't have those acrylic capabilities and all, doing all that stuff with Juma and whatever, I don't think it really. I mean, it'd still be awesome, but having that is, I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty integral part to the whole BMM thing. So he also is going to be doing a Mule V2. That's right, I said a Mule V2. He's going to be. I PM'd him about it, trying to get more info when it's going to take place. Will mine be that way? He said the whole concept is still in its infancy, so I guess it's not going to be as soon as my mod, but it's going to be. It's going to be a thing. And I was asking like to find out how different it's going to be, because like a lot of times if it's a slight tweak, he'll say, like Borat R, you know what I mean? Stashbox R. Whereas this, he's calling it a straight up V2, kind of like how the Billy Club V1, Billy Club V2. So makes you wonder just how different it's going to be. So we'll find out. Here are some new BMM styles. You know what I mean? This is like a monarchy, a newer monarchy pattern, where the battery door cutouts look like a crown. Some are exposed, some are not. So that's something a little different. The middle one is the only exposed one there, you see? The gray. That blue, I love the blue. I was asking him a lot about, and when I was PMing him, I still have to talked to him about I had all these questions for him, and he said to give him a call, but I had to go. I was like on break at work, so I had to go right back in because I was asking about his finishing, and hopefully maybe next video I'll have an answer by then about the specifics on this. But his finishing has changed a lot throughout the years. Um, you have something like this, which is not sealed, which over time gets more of like a distressed look, and the black starts coming through. The dye kind of wears away on the parts that have been handled a lot, or if there's juice got on it, whatever. Same with this one, and that's just how the older ones were. Okay. Then he did this, which was completely different. This is a sealed one, and it's like a high gloss sealed one, very saturated color. It's shiny. It's much more shiny. You see? And then he tweaked this again, and it still had that same full saturation look to it. A solid, very solid coloring. No high and low spots, but it wasn't quite as shiny and supposedly not as slippery. I don't know. I never had one. But yeah, because this one's a little slick feeling, kind of like those splat billet boxes were. They're just that high gloss. Didn't have much grip. So from this, he did a more matte, satiny kind of version of it, right? And now I feel like he's changed it once again, where it's almost more back to this style. I don't see nearly as much shine to it, and even the full saturated look to it seems to kind of be falling off. Which I don't know. I liked the full shine, and I like the matte, or how should say it? I'll call them sealed. I like the shiny sealed, and I like the matte sealed. I thought those were the best looks, because I like the whole full saturated look. And he said, well, like, even though they're sealed, the edges and all can still wear away. It's not like the color's there and it's there for good, which I get, but this is brand new. So why does it look like the top edge is kind of wearing away? It's like I see a lot of black on that top edge, or even the background by the BMM hat guy image in the bore cavity. And yeah, you can see high and low spots in the orange. 3 spots right there. So it's not as saturated. Here as another color. Same thing, a bootlegger. And I feel like the bootlegger is kind of where this whole thing started. And then the gambler was even more noticeable, that it looked like a lot of the color isn't fully saturated in there. So I really want to find out what goes on behind the scenes, why he's made these changes. I'm pretty sure he went from the shiny, saturated look to the matte, sealed look by request. I think people didn't like the shininess. Pretty sure I remember hearing that. But this new thing, I don't know. I'm wondering if it's a cost cutting measure, or maybe like a time saving measure. Maybe they're just not in whatever the dyeing process as long, so you can cycle through stuff faster. I'm just, taking a stab in the dark here, but that's what I would guess. Check out these Frank's monkey boots. These are fucking wild looking, right? See, American company, Frank's. I got a lot of pictures of shit that's. Here's some lawn I did like a week ago. I did all this sod, two pallets full of sod. Really nice house. They had this, the big like view of the water and everything. This is what it was before. We had to rip up all the old grass and put the new shit in. I don't know where all my mod pictures are though. Use this thing, a sod cutter, to pull it all up. Oh, I got another little tidbit. I'm a moderator now in a group I'm a moderator in a different group, a camera group. And I don't really even use that group very often. I just do like add new members that request. That's it. But for Boro and Bridges, this is a love hate relationship for me. This group, because I had so many issues with the old team where they were so nitpicky about what they would accept and wouldn't accept, and they kept thinking like I was breaking the rules, like I was like bending the rules and shit. And it's like, no, I'm just like making a joke or something. Like, don't take it so seriously. But yeah, it got to the point where I couldn't even make comments anymore. It automatic because my posts got taken down so many times. Like Facebook did like this auto block thing. I couldn't even make comments on posts. So I left the group, and then unknown to him, the guy who runs it, Jimmy, asked me if I wanted to be an admin or moderator, and I was like, nothing against you or anything, but I ended up just leaving the group out of frustration. One day I wrote a lengthy comment answering somebody's question, and come to find I couldn't send it because I couldn't make comments. So I was pissed. So I left it, and I'm like, maybe I should have ran it by you. I'm sure it could have got addressed. Um, but I was just so annoyed at that time. I didn't even want to have to talk about it. So anyhow, kind of, they changed things around, and they don't have the same. They switched the team up a little bit, so people aren't going to be so nitpicky about what gets said and done. And that's the way it should be. I mean, it should be pretty hands off, unless something really bad's going on. I mean, there's no reason to gatekeep the group. So I'm in that group now as a moderator. All I've done so far is I think I've added like 2 people that requested to join, and I approved like 2 or 3 posts. Um, that's it. Most of the time when I go look at my notifications for that group, people have already gotten to it and accepted it or whatever. So they got enough people as it is, probably. So I don't know how useful my presence there is, but it's nice to just be involved in whatever way, whenever I have time for it, kind of thing. I try not to be online too much anymore on Facebook, but it don't, I still am, I guess, but it's nicer out, and I work, when I'm at work, I can't really fuck around on the phone, so, and I'm always at work, so. You're getting a greenhouse. Nice saw, thanks, Hammy. Oh wait, does this work for me too? No, it doesn't. It doesn't work like that. How did Mark have little bubbles come up and stuff? I thought that, I don't know what does that, but I don't think he knew either. Well, that comment section's pretty active, huh? Thank you guys for all your likes and subscribes and stuff like that. I appreciate it. Okay, let's see. I don't even know where to start. Okay. Well, no, the Rain Court, like I said, Oak Street Bootmakers is made. They're not all their stuff. Their boots are made by them, but for the moccasins, they have Rancourt make them for them. The only other big moccasin brand is Russell Moccasin. I've been looking into them. They're kind of cool. They're a lot of money for moccasins. The anniversary balance. I did. I seen that this morning. I'm not that crazy about the balance visually. To use it regularly, it does seem very convenient and practical. It's like just a nice box shape. It's like you could be using a Bora mod, but you got an RTA and it's perfectly like protected in there. I see the appeal, but I just feel like it looks just kind of plain and plasticky. I've said the black one, the black Balance V2 looks like a bottle of cologne, in my opinion. But yeah, the ornament style that he has now, and the way it's like 3/4 top, it looks good. I like it. Oh yeah, the orange one. I may have seen that in passing. I remember he had that one video. There was like 5 of them or something. Yeah, real big on those. They're cool though. Like I said, they're probably really practical to use. Whereas this is what it stemmed from. This is the V1 Balance Stratum with the HAR. I've been using this a lot lately when I'm in the house. And I think it's definitely an upgrade from this. I mean, either way though, but the new one, the fire button's right here too, isn't it? I don't think that's a good spot. You have such a small amount of space down here that it's hard to really get a good purchase on it. If you got smaller hands, maybe it's no big deal. I mean, I do a lot of knuckle firing anyway. I use my inner knuckles to fire most of my mods. I don't actually use my fingertips or my thumb. Liberace? What are you talking about? I still can't put together why you were talking about a greenhouse? You just to tell me? I mean, I don't care. Just seemed out of left field. It looks like they made it for your grandmother. I like that. Or Liberace, okay. No, I like the grandmother comment. Splash it all over. It's tacky as hell. I mean, instead of the Air or the Avant, I would have got the Tripod V2. Now, granted, I've never had either one of those RTAs, so can't really say that, but just my educated guess is the Tripod V2 is better than both of those. Oh, the sod. Yes. I'm always doing stupid lawn stuff. Nah, baby. So, what other stuff did I have to say? What is my title? That's embarrassing when you have things in the title and you never get to them. Oh, high-end mod or breakdown. That's what I wanted to do. I was talking the other day um, to someone about. No, Mule is not in the house. Hello, Kobe. I wish. No, it's going to be a little bit. It's probably going to be at least another couple months at best. These things take time. That's the thing about BMM. You wait so long to win a mod, but like doesn't mean shit. You're still going to be waiting another long time. I really thought I was going to win that gambler too. That kind of set me off. I felt bitter for some reason. Like I had no right to feel bitter about it, but I was like, I really wanted to win 2 BMM things back to back. Like, really would have. I mean, so many people have gamblers already. It's like, how did he just release it, but all these people have it? I mean, it just shows you how many um, side things get done, like for prototypes, I guess. I don't know. That's with every company too, but it's like, damn, how come I can't get a goddamn prototype? What about the haze? Oh God, the JIO. I gave my thoughts on it briefly the one time. I don't like it at all. I see nothing of value to it. Nothing. The side, so what does he call it? Side by haze. That was, and I think that has some neat features, like the squeezing, fire button of the battery cover, and what he did for the drop, and that you can rotate the RTA as well. All good things. But the JIO, God, it was so hyped up for so long, so drawn out, and it ends up being the most boring, run of the mill, looks like everything else, 3D printed, not even a good 3D printed mod. Like, same with the side by haze, 3D printed, boring. I mean, the materials are just lacking. Like, I thought the squays, its stock came 3D printed, but you had all the shells. You could do really cool Juma shells. Same with everything else. The fucking Deception, Inception, all these nice premium materials to go on with it. They had good caps, like super high polished stainless steel caps or whatever they were, titanium, I don't know. But these are just boring. I mean, I know it's cheaper for him, and a lot of people like the lightness and durability of 3D printing, but unless your name's Charles Rowe, your 3D printing is never going to come across the same. There are some other companies that can make a fairly decent 3D print, but like not anywhere near as good as BMM. And if you're not even doing as good as those other companies with your print, then don't even do that. Like, use a nice material. Your stuff's so exclusive anyway. Then why are you doing 3D print? I don't know. Shouldn't they be premium materials to begin with then? You like the looks of a couple of them, so maybe there's more of them I haven't seen. I've only seen like the most basic black 3D print version. So I just had a whole different mod in my head because he never showed any prototypes or anything. In my head, it was going to be like the haze mod. I wanted it to look like the haze mod, stabwood and all, like that stabwood blue one he has. If it was like that, And he was saying it wasn't going to take a Bora. I know he said, dude, he like misled the fuck out of the whole thing. It wasn't going to be an actual Bora mod because that's stealing from Billet Box, remember? So it was going to be a whole different kind of system that didn't take a Boro. It was going to be like the Moab, like its own proprietary tank that you put RBAs in, because he only likes bridges. He doesn't like AIO type shit, all in one RBAs. So it was going to be, and of course the Jenna is a bridge RBA. So I was all mentally prepared for a whole new system, and I wanted it to look like the Haze mod, and it's none of that. It looks like the fucking Sunbox. It looks like the Box 2.0 from Sunbox and Ambition mods. That's what it looks like. That's the shape of it, and the GD mods, whatever, out of China. It looks kind of like that too. Probably looks more like that. And it kind of has a little bit of like a Tech Division look. I forget which one it was. The Primo or something, I forget. There's a Tech Division mod, Bora mod, that looks kind of like that. Yeah, he's yeah, big time. Big time. And yet on the comments on Facebook, you still have all these like dick eater comments like, "It's amazing. This is awesome. How do you do it? You're incredible, Jay. When can I get one?" It's just like all these fucking cheesy comments that is just like there's no in between for him. People are either like on his ass or like fucking like trashing him. Like there's no like I always felt like a middle ground person when it came with him. Like there's certain redeeming things to whatever, but then I don't know. It's just all just going down. I don't want to like fucking spend forever talking about him, but the mod at least, yeah, those are my opinions. It's a cult, yeah. I mean, for someone that's like initially, so there was a lot of perks, to the whole being a hazer thing, or portrayed that way anyway. Now it's like, I don't. What are they paying for? To play video games with them and hear them talk about life? They pay $50 a month to do that. I think that's the minimum payment a month to be a technical hazer. Like there's levels, you know what I mean? And he calls I don't know if it's his terminology or YouTube's, but like if you're a member of the channel on YouTube at the minimum numbers, like $5 or $10 a month, or three to 10 a month or something, you're called a hatchling. It's like, well, a hatchling. It sounds really appealing. If you're not a hazer, you're a diaper baby. Pay me more money and then I'll call you a human being. Oh, man. I don't know how other vape reviewers manage to just put the blinders on and not say shit about the rest of the community. For good, for better or worse. They just stay in their own lane. Good for them. I mean, I just don't think like that, I guess. I don't know. Or I have nothing to lose, is really what it is. When you feel you have something to lose, that's when you kind of just like, keep your mouth shut. Whether it's a reputation or whatever. I mean, I just literally everything could just disappear tomorrow and I'll just adapt. Yeah, I mean, it's like a really like weird like it's like being like like a spoiled kid or something, but like your parents are like other adults that like are your friends or something. I don't know. Whatever happened to him? Remember he was talking. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. Because like I can't be like going on and on about this shit. But what was about his whole weight loss kick? Remember he was like, I'm gonna start using the treadmill and I'm gonna make videos about me being on the treadmill as I'm on the treadmill, but I want you to be on the treadmill too when I'm doing it. So I could say, look at me, I'm on the treadmill or something like that. And I'm just like, what? And it's like, you didn't even do any of that, I don't think, because you don't really look that much different. It has a quick release strip tip. Yeah. Completely pointless. I mean, if you need anything to be faster than a fucking integrated tip, I don't have to use this anyway. You don't have to. There's no, unless you're re-wicking, what do you need to take your drip tip out for? I don't ever need to take my drip tips out. I take a panel off, I slide this down, and I refill it. A lot of my other mods BMM stuff, I don't even have to slide this panel down. I just slide the glass down and I refill it. Same here. Slide the glass down and I refill it. I don't have to take the drip tip out. So why is that important? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, fucking video games and whatever. Or like, why would you? Here's another weird nitpicky thing. You know, everyone's got a favorite color, right? But like, I just think it's so weird to dye your entire house black. Make everything black. It'd be good for filmmaking because you wouldn't have bouncing light and stuff. But to walk around in darkness in like a dark house, like it's actually bad for you. Like it's supposedly like has like psychological effects on you. Like that's why they make like hospitals like white walls and stuff because it's supposed to make for an atmosphere of like serenity and clarity and whatever. Where it's like dark, if you're like constantly in dark rooms, like it's like not good for you. Like it's like proven. Like it may not like immediately affect you. Like you're that sensitive. Like oh darkness, I'm scared and sad now. But like I'm pretty sure like the mind is affected by that. And like for it to be that dark in your house, but like outside of the house would be like super bright, sunny, warm Florida. It's such a contrast. Like, you have to wear sunglasses every time you step out of the house in that scenario. Most people want bright light rooms and let as much light in as possible. I don't know. Just like a fucking thing I was on my mind for a while. It makes the house feel smaller too. I never knew that. I know windows, having a lot of big windows and mirrors makes your house seem bigger and open floor, like less walls and rooms and all that shit. But what else are you guys saying? Thanks, Loki. Yeah, Grim Green. I mean, I would say he's definitely the most vape famous person now. You know, anyone that's even remotely serious about vaping, Rip Trippers is not in the picture anymore. So, yeah, I'd say Grim Green is the most prominent figurehead in all of vaping, um, for sure. Mike Vapes may have a lot of subscriptions and stuff, but he's not as prominent of a personality. Like he doesn't have his own show that he does religiously every week for years. That's just a show. Like that vlog has been going on for so long, and they're not short, and they're very jam packed with segments and stuff like that. I mean, he has his thing. Um, so when you're there to entertain and inform that mass of an audience, it makes sense to stay kind of, you know, um, surface level with people and not like get into drama. You're representing such, it's bigger than you. You know what I mean? Like he's representing a lot more in that way. So whereas someone like me, it's not, it's such a small um, niche of people that know this channel, so that it's like I don't care. If I had a bigger presence, I probably wouldn't say a good bit of the things I say. Like I wouldn't want to fuck with anybody's livelihood or reputation in that sense. Yeah, yeah, his dad. Also, if you guys know who Apathy Miller is, he's always in all the groups, or well, not he's in Facebook groups, but I mean, he's always in these chats. He is like one of the most, you know, dedicated YouTube vape chat room people, live chat people that I've seen. He's made an appearance in pretty much every vlog I've ever been on. Um, he just had a heart attack and surgeries and all this, a stint. They couldn't put it in. They had to do something anyway. Something like really bad just happened to him. So say a prayer for that guy if that's your thing, because I feel bad that that happened to him. It's not that old, for that to happen. Yeah, I think I do remember. I remember his dad. Last I remember, he said his dad had a few days left or something like that. So I figured that was going to happen. In his car washing shit. Mike Vapes, he is entertaining. I love and him and Fagan have a great rapport with each other. They kind of complement, their personalities complement each other. You know what I mean? Mike's a little more serious and down to earth. Fagan's more clownish, and they mesh well. You know what I mean? But Grim Green mostly does his stuff completely independent, like because that's technically Fagan's show or ST's show. He's just featured on it, so that's the difference. What, Kobe? What are you saying? I think you need to stop the clone videos. Then maybe wasn't kicked. Oh, I thought you were about to say Clout. I haven't heard that name in a long time. Clout. I think that was my first review. I did the Clout mod. They ripped me off. Fuck you, phone. Yeah, I mean, Kobe, the thing is, I just don't give a shit. You know, I'm not going to cater to anybody. Um, you know, not going to cater to any company. You know, even though I do that stuff or have done that stuff, clone stuff, a lot of modders, they don't treat me any differently. It's just fucking what, like, Costas probably doesn't even know that I did that video. He may not know, he may not even know. He's probably busy doing his own shit. Some other moderator, admin in that group that doesn't like me, they're the ones that probably kicked me out without telling anybody. I don't know. I'm just assuming, but I think it's very likely that could have been the way I just said it. So I just don't care. That's the only group I got, the only company group I got kicked out of for anyway. Um, the thing is, the whole video was talking about how it's the best RTA ever made. How are you going to take my compliment and turn it around on me? Like, I made a whole video honoring your product and how great it is, and you're going to kick me out of your fucking group? I just gave you free advertisement that your product is the best product. I made a different video that has 20,000 views that says this is the best of this kind of product. So where's your gratitude? You know what I mean? That's what kills me. Nobody paid me for any of those videos, and I just gave you a shit ton of fucking free advertisement praising your products, and that's how I'm treated. So just because I try to be straightforward about everything, and I'm willing to try to, accommodate to people that can't afford this stuff and don't know anything about Facebook. That's my whole shtick. I try to take information from the internet in Facebook and bring it to the internet YouTube people. Because this is how I started vaping or getting into vape culture, through YouTube. I didn't get into Facebook for at least a year or more, later when I did high end stuff. Before that, I only looked on YouTube for information. So I'm sure if that was how I did it, I'm sure there's other people that operate the same way and still probably haven't ventured into the Facebook realm. So if there's a lot of products out there that never get any videos for, there's never any reviews on them. So I'm just trying to give exposure to the products. I don't give a fuck who makes them. If it's still technically the same product, that's all that matters, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, it's still that person's design. So they should just be grateful that it got exposure in any shape or form for free. People are so fucking convoluted about this shit. Like, they just look at the wrong things. Ugh. You're watching Clono. I don't think I ever said that, though, Clono. But the Tonem part, I do want to throw that back in to my intros. My intros have been very plain lately because they're like 15 seconds longer than most people's intros, and I know a lot of people don't have that kind of patience. So I like the big long intros. It kind of like sets it up, like, oh boy, it's building momentum to but I can understand, maybe a little drawn out. That's why I try to do chapters, at least, to so people could skip around a little bit if they feel like I'm droning on. But chapters can be a pain in the ass because then you got to rewatch your shit and sit there through it all over again. And I don't know. Whereas someone like Grim Green, he's got proofreaders, you know what I mean? Or people that will go back into his group for him to adjust stuff. I don't think he pays them. I think they just do it to be nice, because they're friends or whatever. That's what's up. When you get 400,000 subscribers, you have people that just fucking hook you up with free work. pretty sure Jake Scrapwood does a lot of his little YouTube editing. Shit, who's the other guy? Damn, who's the other guy? He's like not just for Grim Green, for like a bunch of groups. Addy Tooney. Addy Tooney, I know he moderates the chats, he does all sorts of shit for Grim Green, and he's done it for other YouTubers. So, you know, that's what's up. So like YouTubers that get paid to do it, paid to do the reviews, don't even have to edit their, I mean, I think they edit the videos, but like all the details, like in the descriptions and stuff through YouTube, they can even pass that off to somebody else. It must be nice. I mean, a lot of these channels are like that, especially big ones. Like we're talking about Rose Anvil, guy with 1 million subscribers. He don't do he like he doesn't edit. He doesn't personally edit his stuff. He doesn't do the lighting or camera work. I don't think he even writes, or I don't know, writes the material, but like, because a lot of it seems ad lib, but it's like, you know, what do? You know what I mean? You started the thing. Like he even has other people for like a lot of the sneaker videos now. He has other people do the talking head segments, so he doesn't even have to. He's not even in it at all. Like he's got a whole team. Is what I'm saying. So it's like when you get that much money and recognition for what you're doing, a lot of these content creators don't actually like put in any of the legwork. They're just like spokespeople, you know, they're just a face after a while. Now I know Grim Green and Nick, or they're the same people. Sam and Nick, I know they do their own editing and stuff and all their filming. You play guitar, so you get it. Yeah, that's just me playing it. Like I didn't record it in anything good. I just recorded it off of this camera, or built-in camera, webcam, whatever, and then I just black out the video portion, and then I just cut it, so it's just like one part of it. I'd like to start tricking out the vlogs themselves a little better. You know, like I should have little vlog lead-ins, and I don't know how to do it. Like Grim Green is so good with that shit, like doing the little cutaways and putting in segments and stuff. Like that's taking it to the next level. I still haven't even done. I need to do a 4K vlog with my good camera instead of this webcam shit. That's that cable, the ridiculously long cable, can like do the live video feeds in 4K. I picked one of them up. Yeah. So maybe I'll put my Moab together, I guess. I seen Kevin sent me something. Oh, I might consider doing I was briefly talking to the guy that does, I think his name's Antichrist, vape reviewer, whatever his name is. He does a lot of the clone videos. He's got a small channel. I was talking about possibly us two doing like a live video together. Would be cool if he wanted to. Oh, you sent me the Stratum thing from the Copa. Wow, number 2 of only 15. I did see this though. He said that's the nicest mod he ever owned. No, I don't think so. Yeah, that one's like sparkly as hell. Aluminum. What's so great about aluminum? Those fire buttons look a little easier to press though than this. This one's hard to get to. This one looks like it's a little wider, bands out a little better. They're cool mods. I like how they can you can change how much of the tank is showing and stuff like that. The bottom looks cool. But it's like, I don't know. It's like a lot of things. Like I get bored of it too quick. I've had enough of the balance. I've had enough of the midges, and I just want to see. I don't know. I guess I'm just like impatient to like see new stuff all the time. All I want is like the FTP. I want the protocol FTP, and I want the fucking Hussar Simi. I think those are like the coolest things out right now, probably. Hellfire Titan Diamond. Moab is better. Well, Titan's cool. I think all those Hellfire mods are nice. The Shadow. The I was gonna get the Cobra at one time, or the Cobra X. I have a clone Cobra. Yeah, here's your Moab in pieces. I put a picture of this up on the on one of the groups. Can you see? Can't really see them that good. The tooling marks. You see the tooling marks on that plate? That's the inside of it too. It's pretty cool. Fucking 304 stainless steel. That's what threw me off. I guess most of the time the stuff is 316, and it's like a very soft metal for my tightening that, and the thread pitch is different, so it just feels different when you're tightening it. But the Addy Smith, they really needed to work out the accessories better with this, because it should have had they should have made more integrated drip tips more accessible for this thing than what they did. Boy, it's so weird. I'm not used to talking this much straight. You know what I mean? It's funny. I mean, I could go like a whole fucking day without saying one word. And then I do a video like this, and it's like I'm talking for 2 hours straight. You got the Cobra. No, they're not. I already asked them one time. Hey, can I get like a white Teflon integrated tip? Oh, yeah, we might get around to doing that again. Maybe. Check back in a few months or something like that. I'm like, fuck. And you can't find them. It's not like something that gets listed very often. I don't mind the drip tip I have. It's not terrible. At least it is integrated. Because if I didn't have an integrated tip, I would fucking hate this mod. Because you can't refill it without taking the tank out. So, yeah, it's metal and it's kind of short. So, that's what I don't like about it. I have a couple metal tips I don't mind because the bore is so narrow, it doesn't really matter. What is this? This is how La America starts. I took a trip down to America. I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab something. Um, Hopefully y'all will still be here. Oh shit! I never even unboxed the products. That's what I'll do when I get back. I'll save the Moab. I'll show you guys the stuff I'm gonna review in just a minute. I'm actually gonna pause this because if I'm not talking, I could get a copyright strike or something. All right, and I'm back. I know it's kind of early, but fuck it. Yeah, you know what else is another cool thing I've been learning about, right? It's kind of weird. I've never been much of a person that's like into clothes or fashion in any way, except for like getting like cool fucking band T-shirts. But I've once I started learning about boots and shit, I started learning that there's like a type of jeans, right? Like older jeans uh, were made differently, right? They're made completely differently. And these old style jeans, they're called, wait, it looks really dark. Can't even see the color of this, can you? These kind of jeans, they're called selvage, right? You see this stripe here? That's like the way to indicate that it's selvage, right? And it's like, it's more, it's kind of like shows that it's made, I don't know, more like handmade or whatever, with like the old school method of making fucking denim jeans. And they're usually a lot like thicker and like more like durable than new stuff. Um, I got these ones, right? The company's called Brave Star, and they're made in America and all, in California. And apparently, like the Japanese are really into this stuff. Like they're really into selvage denim, and they produce their own denim and shit. Oh, cool! You like selvage denim stuff? Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, but the ones I'm wearing now, I think they're like an 11 ounce. Super comfortable. I like how they're really dark too. They're like that really dark blue indigo color. And the stitching is much more like prominent. Like it looks just more interesting. These are really comfortable, being that they're 11 ounce or whatever. But the other ones I got from Brave Star, I got them brand new, and they're 15 ounce. Dude, they're fucking heavy and thick, and like they're not very comfortable. Like when you first wear them, they're like kind of stiff. It's kind of like canvas, ever canvas like jacket or anything, or canvas pants, like Carhartt or something. Not very comfortable. Apparently, over time though, they break in and they get even more comfortable. It's kind of like how the boots work. They're not as comfortable immediately. You can't go over 12 ounce. Okay, that's the last time I'm buying something like that. They make up to like 25, 32 ounce jeans. They make the jeans so thick at some point that they can stand up on their own. I've seen videos of it. They just put the legs down and they're standing, like as if the invisible man's in them. It's fucking weird. It's like, how can people want to wear that? Yeah. Yeah, they make them real. Look up a brand called Ironheart, and they're like $300 for these jeans at minimum. Like, it's fucking wild. There's a lot of these cool brands, these like American brands I never knew about. And the one factory like just closed a few years ago. It was in North Carolina. It's called like White Oak, I think it's called. Yeah, but no, the whole purpose is supposedly because the jeans start out really dark, right? And then the thing is, you're not supposed to wash them for like a long time, ever, which is kind of weird. But and then over time, the creasing, the natural creasing of the jeans and shit from you wearing them, they end up like fading in these really interesting ways that just it looks cool or whatever, but is it worth it? You know what I mean? And so the more the thicker the jeans, I guess the more dramatic the fades are or something. It's a little early right now for me, but fuck it. This beer is called Dewey Beer. That's like a town just north of where I live. So it's like Lewis, Rehoboth, Dewey, Bethany, and like Bethany along the coast. So it's called Strawberry Pretzel Salad. Sounds ridiculous, right? It's only a 4.5% beer, and it's a goes. You'll notice Vaping Bogan often talk about a goes beers. He likes sour beers, and that's kind of what this is. It doesn't taste like overly fruit sour. It's just sour. Wait till you see the color of this. It's gonna look weird. Um, so pretzel salad. I mean, that's just a name. The actual flavors are really cool. I mean, it's a really tasty drink. It's very thick. All right, so the actual flavoring is strawberry, vanilla, and sea salt. Pretty awesome. 4 of these cost like $24, but I work there. That's my side job is at a beer store, so I get a discount. Look at that color. Definitely see that strawberry kind of color to it, right? The other weird thing is it says to store it upside down. Canned in Milton, Delaware. Well, that's not even Dewey. It's different. It best stored upside down for whatever reason. It ends up, you can end up, if you have them too long, though, they get like sediment in them. Or this has some sediment. Yeah, it is like red, right? Yeah, you would think it would be a cool side job. I mean, it's cool that I get to try these different beers and stuff. And they even have like free taste testings and all, but I'm usually running around like a nut stocking stuff. This whole spring, I've been working between 50 and 60 hours a week. And my regular job is extremely physical. And it's getting really fucking hot out. So, kind of having to fall back a little bit here. Like, I would normally be in work right now. So, yeah, 6 days a week. And then some of those days, it's like a double shift. Like, I'm going right from one job to the other. So, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Yeah, I guess I'll unbox this from Justin. The Moab thing, I mean, I could do that on my own time, right? So Justin has sent me a lot of stuff in the past. I mean, he's sent me more than any other person to do reviews. Which I greatly appreciate. Done a lot of deals with him. Sold him a lot of stuff. He has most of my old mods. Like, there's nobody that has more of my older, like, high-end gear than him. He has a nice chunk of my old stuff that I've done videos on, which is really cool. I'm glad it all went to the same person. That's a good feeling, especially like somebody you know is going to hang on to it, and someone like you respect and like, you know, they're like really passionate about vaping. I hate when I sell stuff to somebody and then they keep it for like 2 days and then move it right along, and then it gets lost in the ether and you never know who it went to and if they appreciate it or anything. Or so I really like when I can sell more than one thing to the same person and keep in contact with them. And I have a few people I know that it's that situation where I know they have my stuff, and like, you know, it's nice to see something go to a good home kind of thing. It sounds kind of corny, but I really do feel that way. So anyone that, like, you know, that's another thing. Like anyone that acts like, you know, I don't have integrity for doing clones or something, like, you know, you're just fucking making assumptions about what I really value and who I am and shit. Anyhow, I used to love this song. I used to like the rough cut version, or the alternative version of this song. It's like a more bare bones recording of it. It's just like the bongos and Morrison singing. I like that one. Yeah, it's like a pet or something, right? You thought the chip came out of the post box? That's funny. Yeah, you know, he sends me snacks in here too. It's a little stale, but it works. Ooh, I think I'm gonna like this. Oh man. I already asked him. I don't think he answered me. I was like, hey, if I really like this mod, like, can I buy it off you? Because that's why I went on that selling rampage. When I didn't get that gambler, something like I got bitter or something. I was like, motherfucker, like I needed a really good squonk mod and I need it fucking now. And I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. Not winning. It's nobody's fault. I mean, it's my fault for being so headstrong about it, dramatic, but damn. Ooh, I like this. Oh no. It's not perfect. The shape is really cool. It's very different, but it's not perfect for my hand. If if he brought this first off, this is a BMM Tiny V2 or V3. I'll have to find out more about it. Pretty cool, right? It's a really interesting shape. Look at the cuts. And it's I love. I mean, his sklonkers are the best. That recessed 510, love that. Now, if this area was shorter distance, it would fit in the crook of my palm a lot better. So I'd be able to get to that button better. I can still kind of use the knuckle, I guess, like this. But to get my actual thumb pressing it, it's a little too far away. It's got a soft throw. I don't want to say too much about it. Yeah, this is a sick mod. I can already tell I like it. I thought it was going to be a little bigger, and I'm glad it's not. Oh, is this a dual battery? Get the fuck in. Huh. I never knew it was a dual battery mod. Holy shit. Wow, that's got to be the smallest dual battery squonker I've ever seen. and the lightest. Oh, this thing is so cool. Yeah, fuck a 21700. I got a dual battery one. I mean, I like 21700s a lot. For squonking, I can't do single 18650. It's just not enough. Run through it. Oh, it's not going in that easily. Wait. Yes. Clicked in real good. Oh, that was the screen I had on my old billy club. It's so sad. Damn, I wonder if I could think of something like he would want for this. If this setup wasn't so perfect, like, yeah, because it's got the Moab and the unknown phase tip, I'd maybe sell or trade this stash box. But it's just too perfect of a, like, setup. Like, I'd have to sell the whole thing. I know, can you believe it? It fits 2 batteries. Look how small it is. Single 21700, dual battery 18650. So I guess it's a little wider, right? But I mean, for dual, for it to be this lightweight, wow, this is pretty pristine too. He doesn't have any marks on this or nothing. I wonder how new this is. It feels very coated. I mean, maybe it's just because it's black. It's a lot soft, like smoother. This feels a little more rough. I know it's the cracked earth one, but I don't think it's because of that. Cool. BMM does the best squonk mods. They really do. So what do I vape every day? I vape this, the Bow Rat with the AMBB. Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you guys I got a replacement AMBB for like $50. I forget the guy I bought it from. He used to be really like into vaping. I don't really see his name come up that often now. The micro with the protocol ion, stash box Mob V2, unknown Unica, dope ion, sturdy 38 special. That's pretty much it on my regular basis. You know, I got this set up too. Midge and the BM40. BM40, I love this mod, but the way I vape, the battery just doesn't last. Yeah, I mean, it is a cool mod. It's so cool. It's just an interesting shape. Like the cuts. Like, see how it's like, it's not like straight across. It's like a big diagonal and then another like less, like there's like an acute diagonal shape here, and then like the whole side is like a more obtuse diagonal. It's like these little triangular cuts to like cut size down. Like it's, and like the tapering in here. I want to talk all about this in video, but in a review, but really cool mod here. I need a squonker like this. This is what I use. This is what I use all the time. Like I take when I go to work. It's a Pulse X Vandy Vape, 3D print it, and I got a Haku Vena clear cap on there. That's what I use at work. Not the most, but that's what I use. Like, that's it. I mean, I'm not a big squonker, so I usually only have one at a time. I don't have a lot of nice squonkers. I have a Squevo that is an awkward carry. It doesn't feel that good, and it's very big for an 18650. It's a DNA 60 at least. It's made well, as Delrin. It's got matte plates, whatever, but
it looks cool. It's just not
a good hand feel. What a cool line. I'll tell you this, no eternal reward for forgive us now for wasting the dawn. How do you come up with shit like that? It's such a good line. There will never be any fucking musicians like this ever again. It's a shame. Reza, what's good? Thank you, Reza. You as well. Thank you for coming by. Damn, I really taste some strawberry. It's everything it says it is. Strawberry, vanilla, a little bit of a salt taste to it. That was, funny you bring that up. The Empire Squonk. That is something I was seriously considering. I still may. I think that is a great squonk concept. I really like the look of it. And then I don't have to be worried about fucking it up. Like I could take it to work, but it's not going to feel like I got a piece of shit like this. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with this mod. Battery life ends up being really good too. But it's just always going to seem corny to me because it's Vandy Vape. But yeah, the Empire, I really like that. I really like the look of that. The refill on it looks great. Yeah, like this is messy. Refilling this is, I always get shit all over my hands, all over the mod. It's messy. Squonking is messy. Squonking is more messy than Boros, in my opinion. Boros aren't really messy unless you're re-wicking them. Or if you wick it wrong and it leaks on you. See, with my job, there's so much dust. I get dust everywhere. That's why I can't, I try not to bring nice stuff out with me to work. So I wouldn't really want to bring something like this to work anyway. I used to bring my old billy club to work all the time, actually, but somehow managed to go unscathed throughout all that. But considering this isn't even mine, I would never bring it there. But yep. It's the whole LA Woman album. I don't know. It just came on. Haven't listened to the Doors in a while, so ride out with it. I love the Doors. One of the first bands I really fell in love with, like the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, the Doors. I was actually driving by the other day on that e-bike because they left out some screws. I went to drive to the hardware store and I was going to buy a tattoo place. I went in and I talked to them. I might be getting a tattoo. I might get one here. I might get like a squid, but like the head of the squid is the Grateful Dead skull. Like the Steal Your Face skull. If I can incorporate them together, I think that would be cool. I've been wanting to get that for years, but I haven't got a tattoo in like 15 years, so. But yeah, that was another band I really liked a lot. Grateful Dead, Velvet Underground, Pink Floyd, all the standard CCR. It's weird, having not been from that time period when all that stuff came out, because I got into it at such a young age, and all my friends were into it too, it felt like I was from that time period. Because now I look back at those songs and they feel old to me too. You know what I mean? So it's like it almost like dates me further, like than how old I really am. Like it's a weird thing to think about. Yeah. The weird thing, if you ever learn about Morrison's dad, his dad was what in the Navy or the Air Force. He was like a general, like he was like really high up, and I think he had like involvement in all sorts of shit. Like he may have even been involved like with JFK assassination. Like he was definitely an important person, apparently. Um, yeah, pretty cool. Morrison used to tell people his parents were dead and stuff. Like he cut ties with them for so long or something. Uh, I guess you'd have to fucking live like. I mean, I've been there. I guess. Yeah, it just gets harder and harder too because less and less people appreciate this kind of music, and less and less people play instruments. I don't know if you ever heard of the store music store Sam Ash. There used to be one in the mall by me. It was actually cool. It was like this. There was a indoor skate park, the X Games skate park. It was the first one. This is Philadelphia Franklin Mills. It's called the mall. They changed the name to Philadelphia Mills, but it was called Franklin Mills, like after Ben Franklin. From an aerial perspective, if you look down at the mall, it looks like it's shaped like a lightning bolt for Ben Franklin. And anyhow, the skate park right next to it was Sam Ash Music Store. So that's where I used to get all my music stuff as a kid. And they're getting rid of Sam Ash altogether. That's the whole, as a whole, it's closing down. So, you know, now it's Guitar Center, Sweetwater, Musician's Friend. That's it. I mean, less and less people just like play music or care about music. Figure when all the older people die off, if young kids aren't going to be learning instruments, it's just going to fucking go away. Everyone would rather watch funny cat videos and be on TikTok and play video games. That's everybody. That's everyone's objective these days. So the bottom line is people need to start hanging out with each other more face to face. Even what we're doing right now, I mean, it's cool, but it doesn't count. Like being there with people in person. That's how you really grow. That's how you really get to know people. And like, I just cherish the fact that I grew up that way, you know? If I was in like the next generation, I'd be so pissed. Maybe they don't know what they missed out on, but it was way better having every day having like 5 of your friends all knock for you at your house. Come on, let's go out and fucking do shit. We'll figure it out when it happens. You know what I mean? Like that. That's living. You know what I mean? That's like really getting to be a kid. You know what I mean? And the fact that they all just stick to themselves in their rooms, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have kids. I don't really know any kids today, so I guess a lot of this is pretty assumptive, but pretty sure that's what goes on. Self-indulgent carnival music. What's carnival music? I think this is more carnival music. Oh, show me the way. With all the organ. Yeah, I mean it puts you in these you know, you need those stressful in-person situations. People today don't even know how to make eye contact with each other without feeling weird about it. I mean, that's a bad sign, and it's all by design. I don't think any of this just happened to fall together the way it did. I think it's all by design to separate people. We're essentially being killed off by the elite class. I don't want to get too conspiracy theory, but I basically believe every conspiracy theory about the elite. It's all by design. All the problems. All the problems could go away very easily. Hold on, there's no 25-minute organ solo, okay? Maybe maybe a live performance, possibly. If you want to get on anybody for jamming, how about the fucking Grateful Dead? They can do a whole set out of 2 songs, which is cool because then it's unique to that moment. So I appreciate jamming. You know what I mean? I think it's interesting. What does go mean? Yeah, music is definitely in a weird spot. I mean, it all went to shit the um, when the owners of the music businesses got too involved. They used to own it and leave it up to the musicians to figure out what to do. And that's when it worked out good. But when they got too involved and wanted to do it themselves, that's when everything went to shit. You ever hear Rick Beato? He's got a really popular YouTube channel, has like a number of million subscribers. And it's a very musicians kind of channel where he breaks down songs, but he also does like cultural breakdowns too. So like he talks about like years ago people used to know who the studio musicians were, by name. The studio musicians used to be famous in and of themselves, even though they never did concerts or never like were in the spotlight. Just by word of mouth, as respect for musicians themselves, they would be famous. Like a lot of people started that way, like Jimmy Page started that way. Stevie Ray Vaughan or people like that. You know what I mean? Eric Johnson, Steve Vai. You know what I mean? They're not necessarily like real like frontmen type or like singers necessarily, but they're just as popular and famous. Yeah, man. But what's any different? You know what I mean? If you're a kid, you're a kid. I mean, how I didn't even like the Beatles when I was younger because my parents liked them too much. But I heard Led Zeppelin because they didn't listen to Led Zeppelin, and I like instantly fell in love with it. So how does that work? You know what I mean? It's like I think it's an intellectual based thing. I mean, being able to like decipher like metaphoric lyrics and like have a knack for like melody, like what's good in melody. That's why it's called music theory. I mean, there is no factually better music technically, but a more deeply, I don't know, more like intellectual person would more likely gravitate toward this than like Taylor Swift, in my opinion. So, oh yeah, Zeppelin was the first like hard rock and shit. Jimmy Page is my favorite guitarist, so that'll tell you how much I like Led Zeppelin. Wait a minute. Getting high and forgetting what you're doing doesn't make you a musical genius? What are you talking about? It doesn't even have anything to do with that. These guys are like on autopilot. It just comes out of their soul. Like it's really fucking cool. I mean, there is a technical side to music, but there also like the feeling side of it is also just as important. You know, Jimmy Page, like a lot of people talk about how he's actually a sloppy guitar player, but he's a very melodic guitar player too, and I think he does it the best, you know. Yeah, it's the attention spans. Yeah, I agree. TikTok, stupid. I've never used it. I don't have it. I never have had it. Never bothered. I mean, you can see some really cool, crazy stuff in videos like that, especially physical stuff. Like some guy gets hit by a car and flips 20 feet up in the air, but somehow lands back on his feet. That shit is like, wow. You would never see that day to day. Or if you do, once in a lifetime. But like, because you can see stuff like that at an instant all the time, I don't know, it just fucks up people's wiring, like the dopamine in your brain. But you gotta think, like, having that at a young age probably impacts you even more. Now that, you know, people my age or whatever, like, have experienced life to a certain extent and then are exposed to these videos, it's like drugs. Not like hard drugs, just any drugs. Younger kids are more susceptible to some kind of drastic adverse reaction or like vaccines and stuff like that. Whereas like as you get older, you through your immune system build a tolerance to all sorts of shit. So why shouldn't it be that same way with cultural stuff too? Like, you know. Really? Too slow, right? Okay. I'm gonna play my favorite Doors song. And you tell me anything bad about this song. I mean, I couldn't think of one bad thing to say about this song. Definitely my favorite Doors song. Not that I don't even like this album that much. I just really like this song. What is this movie? What is this song in? Of course, it's a black guy with a bunch of white girls all over him. Everything is so fucking predictably fucking goddamn hate liberals. Listen to this. This is badass. I think this was in a movie too. I think they put this in The Waterboy for a minute. Adam Sandler movie. It's in a movie too. This song is fucking awesome. The Doors being polarizing. I mean, I didn't like Jim Morrison's voice when I first heard them. I like singers that can do like a clean, I don't know. It sounds kind of weird, but I like a clean, like higher pitched voice. You know, like the Beatles. Like he just has such a deep voice that it was so different than anything I'd ever really listened to. I'm like, am I listening to like Frank Sinatra? Like, why is his or like Elvis? Why is his voice so deep? But like after a while, like it's just I don't know, you get it. You know what I mean? It sounds better. Sounds good. Or like, who else has a voice kind of like that? Like, I guess like John Fogerty or like Joe Cocker or something. You know, just like a deeper kind of voice. This is in a couple movies. Yeah, I could see that. So I feel like I heard it in a movie before I ever heard it through them. Ghosts. Sinatra is the shit, though. Yeah, for sure. Blood in the streets of the town of New Haven. Yeah, I really like Frank Sinatra shit. I have way more of an appreciation for music in general than I did. You know, like, so there was a turning point. Like, I guess when I was like 18, I just opened up to so much more stuff. I mean, I know a lot of jazz. I had friends that were in like the Philadelphia string band, so I learned all about different sax music and like Coltrane, Miles Davis, Charlie Parker, all that stuff. I know all that shit. Even big band and swing, Glenn Miller, all that stuff. Duke Ellington. I know all that shit. I know classical music, Vivaldi, you know, all that shit. Fuck. Who's the one damn, who's that one I like? Chopin. Yeah. There's just so much good music that's already been done, and that's the problem. I mean, it's just years ago, people were not left to, there was not that many options. You picked something that was entertaining to you and you ran with it. You didn't get to branch out and do so many different little things. I'm into boots, I'm into vaping, I'm into fucking music, movies, camera gear, whatever, you know, there's beer. Too many options, too many things to focus on. Beethoven had a fucking candle, he had a note, he had a scroll with a fucking feather pen, and he had a piano. That's it. That's all he had to work with. So he got really fucking good at it. There was no other distractions. There's no television. There's nothing to distract you. You did the work. And then in those fucking days, I mean, hell, you may be doing it for a king or something, and if you don't do it good, you get your head chopped off. So then you're really getting good at music because your life depends on it. You know, there's such a dynamic to all this. What made people back then so much more disciplined and structured and talented and creative? It's having less allows you a bigger canvas to be creative. You know, when you're flooded with all this other shit already, it actually just clouds the creativity. That's why I actually don't watch movies as much as I used to. I used to be such a movie fanatic, watching every movie that was remotely historic in any sense of the form, and seen it all, took it all in, inspired by certain things, but then I let it go. I don't get too wrapped up in movies anymore, especially because the newer ones usually suck, but it also hinders my own creativity because then you, especially like something like a fucking Marvel movie, it's like, well, I'm never gonna have a budget like that, and I don't know dick about doing my own personal CGI. So I'd rather watch something like Curb Your Enthusiasm with a super low budget. That's just some guy who wrote some funny shit with nothing to work with. I mean, Larry David has tons of money. He doesn't really use a big budget to make any of those shows. I mean, you got a golf course and you got your house, like, and a fucking restaurant. That's it. Everything else is up here, and his dialogue and his plot developments. That's all he needed. And good acting. Good acting can never underrate good acting. But today they don't write enough lines for people to begin with, or the lines they do write are so corny and unbelievable that they can't even do it with feeling, even if they are a good actor. Yeah, that's the word for it too, Kev. A crooner. Yeah, he was a crooner. Elvis was a crooner. Dean Martin, Bobby Darin. You know, those kind of guys. But you know, all these people that influenced me, that I like aspired to be like when I was younger, they're not good role models. They're not good role models. All of them were fucking fucked up in one way or another, whether it was drugs or alcohol, or smoking 5,000 cigarettes a day or whatever. They all had serious vice issues. And that's something our society like really fucking hinders us against now. I mean, like, it's so cut and dry. Like, you're either straight edge or you're a junkie. Like, there's no like, oh, I get all my work done and I'm really talented, but I also have a chip on my shoulder with this substance issue. And it's like, oh, no big deal, you're fine. Well, these days it's not like that. You could get a DUI, or you could drive home drunk 5 nights a week years ago, and the cops would just say, "Oh, I gotta call your wife to pick you up," or "You gotta come with me to the donut shop to drink a cup of coffee before you can go home," or whatever. Now it's like you get the book thrown at you. You ain't gonna drive for a year, and you're gonna pay $4,000 between the lawyer fees and what you're charged by the DMV. You're gonna have to take a fucking class for 2 months uh, from your one fucking drunk driving episode that you didn't even have an accident for. Like, it's just so strict. We made everything so strict these days. It's so fucking ridiculous. Laws. They just keep making more and more laws. And I feel like I sound like George Carlin right now. I'm just bitching about the world. But oh man. Yeah, jack of all trades, master of none. Oh, what's the whole thing? I learned it the other day and I forget it. Jack of all trades, master of none, but something of one. I forget the whole thing. Yeah, that's why I'm literally. That's why I feel bad about like not doing as much video content with you guys, because I do get like there's a camaraderie in this. You know what I mean? It's a nice feeling to feel understood, or like on the same page as a lot of people that watch or whatever. But it's never going to be the same as like really getting to know people. And honestly, that's one of the reasons I've kind of strayed away from, or want to anyway, stray away from certain things like this, because it's keeping me from growing as a person. I need to literally subject myself to like force myself, especially because now that I don't get high. I mean, I used to be very overly outgoing when I was getting high, because you have that false sense of confidence. Now that I don't get high, it's a lot harder, and I really just have to like make myself like, and it's hard enough because I have my own personal hangups about that, like socializing sober now. But on top of that, everybody else does too now because of fucking technology shit. So it's like now it's even worse. You know what I mean? Like if I was like a little more established, well off, if I had a wife and a kid or something, like, and I managed to make time for doing this stuff, then that's great. And that's how a lot of people do this. But me, I'm still not like anywhere near like as an established person as I would like to be. So it's like I don't always feel like I'm in a position where I should be doing this. You know what I mean? If that adds up. Yeah, rockabilly? That's weird. Not many people are into rockabilly. not like real rockabilly. Chicken picking. I like Chet Atkins. Great. I love early George Harrison guitar. It's incredible. Chuck Berry. I know how to read. I learned how to read music. I'm not a fluent reader, but if I sat down and it would just take me a long time, but I could do it. I had a music theory class in college, even. But my other friends were I grew up around a lot of musicians that were much more talented than me, especially with their actual instruments. Like I'm more of a singer and singer songwriter, and I just play rhythm guitar kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like I learned songs. Those guys, like, they all knew their scales and modes and just had a better ears from the start. I had to really train my ear. It took me a long time just to tune a guitar without a tuner. I mean, oh yeah, of course George Carlin had good points. I just don't want to get running on the. I can go on and on about how fucked up the modern world is. Yeah, George Carlin is so cool too because his early stuff is nothing like his later stuff. It's like a whole different person. He got so bitter. Didn't his wife die or something? Um, I just know he like a switch went off. I mean, God, he used to wear like clown clothes. Then he just all wore jet black. Like he used to make play on word dick jokes, and then he fucking went to like hardcore scrutinizing the whole system. Like, and it's the best material. I mean, it's incredible material. It's never gonna. It's landmark, famous shit, like defining stuff. Eddie Cochran, cool. Gene Vincent. I don't know if I know any Gene Vincent stuff. Yeah, Eddie Cochran's cool though. I always want to see. I got that or this way. I got my casino. I was gonna get a Gretsch. That was my other choice. Really wanted a Gretsch like George. There's so many things, man. If I had like infinite money, some people wouldn't know what to do with themselves if they had a lot of money. Not me. I'd have a fucking blast. There's so many things I like, and I would just know what to do with all of it. You know what I mean? Aside from buying material shit, I would make my own movies because I'd have the budget to. I'd be able to pay for catering and actors and sets and get permits, and I'd have a blast. You know what I mean? When I was younger, I thought I was a rich kid. I didn't realize I was just like very middle class. Like, but I just thought that shit was gonna go on forever, and I'm like, yeah, man, I can do whatever I want. Like, wish I still had that spirit. You know what I mean? That like the world is my oyster kind of vibe, because that's how I lived for a long time. It didn't hit me till I was like 25, where I was like, oh yeah, this shit ain't gonna work out too well. I had a couple lawsuits too in these motorcycle accidents years ago. I got 12 grand from one, 7 grand from the other. I didn't spend any of that money wisely, and but I had a lot of fun. Oh, Beat Bopalula, yeah. Beat Bopalula, she's my baby. John Lennon did a version of that. Jesse Wells. Dude's Soul is from the 70s. Was that new then? Did any of you guys ever grow up with anybody famous, or like had some kind of relation to like someone that became famous? So I got a few of them. I definitely got a few of them. Chris Cole, the famous skateboarder. He's from my neighborhood, not my direct neighborhood, but the outskirt of it or whatever, Philly suburb. And one of my best friends was like really close with him. He worked at G Spot, the skate shop that Chris Cole kind of came from. Chris Cole used to come to the playground across the street from my house to skate there at the ledges there. Brand New, the band. You know the band Brand New? I never listened to emo music. Well, most of my friends did. While all my friends were listening to emo music, I was learning all about classic rock and punk, like the Misfits and the Ramones and shit. No FX, Less Than Jake, Real Big Fish, so like some ska. The Clash, I love the Clash. I didn't really get into the Clash till later, but I still liked them. Same with same with grunge. Like I had a grunge revival just a few years ago, like where I really got into STP and Alice in Chains and those bands. Really like those bands. Sorry, this turned into a everything episode. We're just kind of shooting the shit, but that's what I like personally. I mean, I could talk about vape gear, I guess, but it's cool to talk about this kind of stuff. Yeah, there's other people too, mostly skateboarders. Kyle Knobloch, he like works for Baker now, Baker Skateboards with Reynolds. He was from my neighborhood. My best friend Dave like was real close to them. There was a band that's called Silvertide. I used to kind of date the lead singer's younger sister, Shauna Lafty. His name is Walt Lafty. They're featured in the movie Lady in the Water from M. Night Shyamalan. It came out in like the early 2000s. They're in the movie, like they're like by the pool, and they're like the live band at the pool. Yeah, I think they were doing like a cover of Maggie's Farm by Bob Dylan in the movie. Yeah, so like M. Night Shyamalan, a lot of Philly stuff there, but damn, what other famous people I come across? I'm trying to think who else. I had a couple things in my head. Shit. I met a lot of pro skateboarders. Kerry Getz, Josh Kalis. All the girls I grew up with, they all fucking met Bam. They all used to take pictures with Bam. My favorite musician is Elliott Smith. I know you were just saying like where your heart lives or whatever. That's my favorite musician of all time. Just everything, all his music just resonates with me to a ridiculous degree. Unfortunately, it's very sad. Cass McCombs is another musician I'm really into, who I've met a few times at his concerts. Not very well known, which is cool that he's made that much of an impact on me, but it's very unknown. Jesse Lacey. When I lived in Texas, I lived with somebody that he went to school with Matthew McConaughey, which is pretty funny. Little fucking, you know, these are small relations, I guess. These are just little I gotta think. There's definitely other fucking. I don't know what made me get on that subject anyway. We were all friends with the guys from Sum 41. Oh shit. He's not from Philly. He's from Westchester, but that's close enough. It's just, it's like 40 minutes out. But he always was. He was always in Philly. So Ricky Iola, Steve, a lot of Stevie Williams, a lot of Philly skateboarders, like Maldonado. Oh, Jesse Lacey's from Brand New. Okay. I never listened to any of that stuff. Taking Back Sunday, Thursday. Everything's like a day of the week, right? Panic at the Disco, My Chemical Romance. Never listened to any of that shit. Coheed and Cambria. The little bit of that band I've heard I liked. I was more like into the Shins, the Smiths, the Strokes, Radiohead, Oasis. You said Sum 41? Blink 182 and Sum 41 are the reasons I picked up a guitar. My first guitar was a Tom DeLonge signature Stratocaster. I did a video over the winter for a band that's like a bunch of kids. They're actually all like 16. They're actually really good at music, and they're all into Blink 182. So that was cool to see that still alive in a way. He was grooming young girls online. Huh. Love this song. That is the coolest riff ever. This song, I remember maybe like the second time I ever took mushrooms. Me and my friends were in like one of our older friends' apartment. Somebody put this on. Oh man. The Mars Volta. You guys ever hear of that band, the Mars Volta? They're a little heavier. That's like a System of a Down almost kind of heaviness. First time I ever took mushrooms, I watched a live set of Mars Volta at the Electric Ballroom. Fucking amazing. Their afros were popping out of the television screen. So cool. Shit. 1250. You know what? I forgot to tell you, so I also got this to review. The Monarchy MS RBA is also included. It smells like weed. I don't know what it smells like. I don't think he smokes weed, so. I've been really curious to try this RBA. Aside from the new Ultima coming out and the XO, this and the Protocol Ridge have had my attention. Oh, that's what he meant. There's no O-ring on this. It came off, so I had to put one on. You think, come on, fucking Monarchy. Screw this shit in. I don't want an O-ring. I want to screw it in. Set it and forget it. I don't want to fucking dick around with O-rings. They got to go. New rule. Spread the word. All chimneys need threads from now on. That's it. That's it. We're done. We're not doing it no more. You know what? No O-rings at all. We don't need them. We don't need no stinking O-rings. Fuck that shit. Who needs a goddamn O-ring? I mean, deco rings I'm a little bit more accepting of. Monarchy usually has good deco rings, at least. Now, even this isn't that good. It's a little tight. I mean, it's dry, but I'm probably not going to put a new coil in this either. He's probably got better coils than I do, so. Oh, I love this. Bronyar. Maybe second favorite solo guitar piece ever made. I'm going to put this in a movie, too. Damn, I got a lot of songs I want to put in little movies I want to make. This and White Summer. Oh, Jimmy Page at his finest. Have you tried this? You've tried this then, Nick? This little guy. Looks like a good one. Yeah, they weren't kidding. Sharp. Some of these are really sharp. The two center points of the crown, they are definitely sharp. It's a little jarring. Wow, it's 1 o'clock already. I wanted to film. I have a lot of stuff I want to do today. I never get around to any of it, though. Or I get around to, like, one thing. I edited one video. It's a fucking boot video. I got another boot video to edit. Now I got these things I got to film. And that's the video stuff. And then I want to make more video stuff, like creative stuff. Because now I got that e-bike I can probably do some fun stuff with. Doesn't get that good a range. It's very slow. I can't wait for the other one to come because it'll be faster and shit. Look at these fucking things. You ever seen a crazy ass boot like this? No, it's not a Santa Claus boot. Damn it. It's a Westco from Scappoose, Oregon. Horween horsehide leather from Chicago. It's called an engineer boot. Pull-on boot. A riding boot. Yeah, it's kind of like motorcycle-esque, you know. It's technically an engineer boot. That's the technical name for it, anyway. Billy Joel has that song, remember? I think it's in Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. Cold beer, hot lights, my sweet romantic teenage. Engineer boots, leather jackets, and tight blue jeans. Cold beer, hot lights. Yeah. There's so many good musicians like that. Billy Joel's got great stuff. Coheed's your Rushmore. Anyone seen that movie, Rushmore? Wes Anderson. I like Wes Anderson stuff. What did you say, Kevin? What the hell is Kevin talking about? Yeah, and getting them to do shit because he was famous. Oh, okay. You're talking about the brand new guy. One of the sensitive bands. And they all just did it for girls. Except, I think I may have. Oh, you broke your monarchy? How'd you break it?
Wait, he showed them his dick on Snapchat? I thought you said it happened a long time ago. That shit hasn't been around that long. Oh, he's your favorite director, huh? Mine's Stanley Kubrick. Love Stanley Kubrick. I got a lot of directors I like. Tarantino and like Pulp Fiction and Clockwork Orange are probably my favorite movies. I gotta get another thing. Well, thank God for you guys, Kevin and Nick. I really appreciate your commentary here with me. I probably would have ended this shit a long time ago if it wasn't for y'all. And you, Kobe. Sorry I forgot about you. I didn't know you were still there. And shit, who else was just here? Loki. Hatman bounced real quick. At least he showed face. Now this one is a weird one. So this is also Dewey. It's called Swishy Pants. It's a lot stronger. 7.5 hazy IPA. It's too early for this shit, but whatever. I gotta work tomorrow, so. Look at that color. It's like brown. It's like a weird fucking color. It must have like grapefruit juice in it or something. It's definitely a more piney one. Oh yeah, Pulp Fiction. Great. See Clockwork Orange if you haven't. This is the kind of camera they use for it. An Aeroflex. Chris Earl, how do you do, sir? We're just rapping about music and movies and the like. If you came here for vape content, you're shit out of luck. Vapes. I don't know no vapes. I've read A Clockwork Orange. Anthony Burgess. Yeah, I mean, you think there'd be more of this kind of shit? A lot of vape reviewers, whoever, they really stick to the curriculum. I mean, I like to talk about I'll just talk about whatever shit. What's bananas? What are we talking about? The book. Well, the book ending sounded like someone was auto firing. What the hell was that? The ending of the book is different. It's actually completely different. It's basically the opposite of the ending of the movie. The movie ending is better. I won't spoil it, I guess. Yeah, it started as a book. There's a lot to this. I mean, the way they speak, there's a term for it. It's called the vernacular they use. It's called NADSAT, NADSAT. It's like a combination of like Russian, English, and German. I think is how they came up with it. And Yeah, I mean, it has its own dictionary. Like real horror show, like horror show. And that just means like really good or really enjoyable. A droog is a friend. There's just like certain words mean certain things. It's neat. Came up with its own little language. And like watching something like that as an American, so it's like not only are you having to deal with British slang, but you're getting like a whole other language on top of it. But just through you can infer what they're talking about. It's neat. Um, what else? Train Spotting, Danny Boyle. Love that movie. And that's its own language too. The way the Scottish slang and just the way they speak. It's so interesting. Very piney. Malcolm McDowell, yeah. The reason he's in that movie is because of his performance in the film If. A movie came out called If. I think it takes place at like a boarding school or something. He's the main character, and Kubrick seen that, and he instantly wanted him to play the part. I think that came out in like 70, 69 or 70, and then Clockwork Orange came out in 71. Yeah, Train Spotting's great. I think that came out in 96. That's another thing I'm really good at, like what year movies came out. Pulp Fiction came out in 94. When did Rushmore come out? 98? Or was it after that? I know we were talking about Rushmore. His newer stuff maybe has gotten a little too over the top, and he's delved too much into like children's stuff. Wes Anderson. 98. Damn, I'm good. Whereas like I think like Royal Tannenbaums was like the perfect blend of like flashiness, sets and camera movements and stuff, but like still like a little more believable and like down to earth, not like didn't read like a pop-up book, you know what I mean? Like 93, well, he's a young bull, dog. That's why you never seen it. I seen Clockwork Orange when I was like probably like 16. My sister told me about it. I showed two of my friends. After my friend Dave and I seen Clockwork Orange and a lot of like the Tarantino stuff, like Kill Bill, we were both like, we need to go to film school. He did really good for himself with it too, because he didn't like get into drugs or nothing. So he lives in Brooklyn. He was gonna go. He was gonna go to school for psychology, and I talked him out of it. Damn, I have this page up, the Teleria XXX. It's like $3,000. Looks like a dirt bike or whatever, but it can go like 70 miles per hour. And Justin, who sent me all this vape stuff, he's got a Teleria. I think he's got like this is the baseline one, XXX. He's got like an even better one. I just don't know how much range they get because they go so fast. So like they can't get good range. I've been surprised at how the electric bike batteries, they just don't last that long. It's not like when I had a souped up moped. At a moped, it go like 35, 40 miles per hour, but it got like 90 miles to the gallon. So I got to go all over the city all day without having to worry about gas. I'm like, that's what I want. Oh, Snatch. Love Snatch. Guy Ritchie. Oh, really? About the pikeys. You like dogs? Yeah, I was just watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood last night. I'd only seen it like once or twice. You like dogs? I love fucking Guy Ritchie movies. I heard he's got a new show out. I haven't seen it yet. But Snatch and Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels are like my, they're up there with some of my favorite movies. I like some old fucking movies people don't know about though. Like, I wanted to know what Tarantino was into, what got him into movies, and like his favorite movies are like Rio Bravo, which is like a western, but it's really good. But then like he was also really into the French New Wave, like Jean-Luc Godard and Francois Truffaut and Jean-Pierre Melville, and that stuff's really cool. It's like old school. It's like they've seen American film noir, like the detective type movies with Humphrey Bogart and all that shit, and like Robert Mitchum, and they took that and then they like Frenchitized it. And instead of doing stuff in the studio, they did it all on location. A lot of handheld camera, a lot of long tracking shots, and they put their French spin on it, where they like getting all these random weird existential conversations, and like they go on these tangents, and you like think they lost the plot, and then they go back into the plot, and they like break the fourth wall, and they do all sorts of weird shit, and it's so unpredictable, and it's really interesting. It's low budget. I mean, if you don't like reading subtitles, then you're kind of screwed. But and the films are either black and white or they're really colorful. They're either really saturated, like CinemaScope Technicolor, or they're black and white, and it's like Breathless, Shoot the Piano Player, Jules and Jim, great stuff. The Grand Budapest Hotel from Wes Anderson, yeah, that was good. I think that was the last really good one though, and even that, it started to get a little over. It's too good. It's like too over the top. He gets the best actors though too. You get inspired. You get disappointed when inspired your heroes. Yeah. A lot of it's usually simple. I mean, think about all the great bands that came out of rock and roll. I mean, how do you get the Beatles out of Buddy Holly and Chuck Berry? But that's what inspired them initially. They just built on it. Yeah, that is the one good thing about technology and the internet. I mean, you can just do such deep dives into things, which like my trivia is on point. Like when I talk to older people about stuff like old music and old movies, and like they're always like really like baffled like how I know so much trivia, like weird anecdotes about all of it. But just fucking deep dive on it. I gotta take a piss real bad. I don't know if you guys want to hang out for a minute or what. Be right back. Holy shit. Man. When I go, I fucking go, man. Shit. See, there's an example of, I was just thinking, here's an example of the political correctness, right? So, like, Groom Green would have said, I have to go, pardon me, I have to go on a bio break. Whereas, like, I'm just like, all right, I gotta piss. It's like, not so elegantly put, you know what I mean? It's just kind of is what it is. All right, let's see what this chat's about here. Ooh, that sounds cool. You can learn so much from standing on the shoulders of giants. That's some deep shit. I don't know what the fuck you just said, but that's some deep shit. Oh, I get you. Yeah, he says that's his thing. He says bio break. He doesn't say I'm gonna go to the bathroom or I gotta pee or it's like a thing. Bio break. Cute. I'm not gonna knock him. I mean, Green Green is he's pretty cool. What are you saying, Nick? It's usually like revenge of the people who told him they couldn't a lot of the time. Told who they couldn't. His shed time. What are you talking about? Nick? You mean anytime you say shed, I'm instantly gonna think Mark Todd. I don't know what you're talking about. Shed time. You mean beer time? You know what's funny? I thought all his music was like originally his. It's not. It's not at all. That intro, that guitar thing. That's not Grim Green's. I thought maybe his friend wrote that for him or something. And that's on all their. I've seen that all over these different YouTube videos. I'm like, fuck. It felt so like personal to that, like to him. And now it's like I'm seeing it in a fucking cat video or something. Oh, okay. Does he? I never picked up on that. Yeah, he smokes once in a while, right? I don't smoke any weed. Ugh. I love the smell of it. I love the taste of it. I do not like the feeling. I just get paranoid and anxious, or I get tired and pissy. I do not like weed. I might enjoy it for like 10 minutes. I used to love it like when I was 16, and then like somewhere along the line I just like developed an adverse reaction. So like by the time I was like 18, I did not like it anymore. It didn't stop me from smoking it. I'd still try to like enjoy it and I never could after that. Oh, Green Green smokes a lot of weed? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's not that hard to believe, but I didn't know that though. I'm looking at this Teleria. I mean, anybody got like $2,000 I could use real quick? Maybe like 1,500. Nothing crazy. $3,150 for a black Teleria. Okay. You gotta spend an extra 150 just for pedals on it. I would get the pedals though, because they're gonna crack down on these things. I hear they're too fast. The kids are too reckless on them. Oh, they have LG batteries. You know what's funny? E-bikes, most e-bikes of any quality. You know what they're powered with? You're not gonna believe this. You know what they're powered with? This. A 21700 battery. That's what's in them. Just a lot of them. 21700 batteries. It's fucking irony. It's just like these things are just everywhere, aren't they, huh? It's just funny that this thing can end up like doing that. Like, it's fucking wild. Bunch of 21700 batteries and you're going 70 miles per hour? Wow. We've come a long way. I can't believe you can pack that much power in one of these things. Ohm's law calculated with real world efficiency. Is Ohm Vape still around? Or what are they called? Ohm Life? These are like the only like specifically designated vape batteries, aren't they? I mean, I know they say Molicel has vaping in mind, but these are like advertised like for vaping. Tells you the wattages to use and stuff. How many of them? I think it's like between like 16 and 17 usually. All strung together in, I don't know, parallel or series or something. I'm trying to get the specs on this bike and I can't find them. It's 60 volt, 40 amp hour battery. That's good. That's like double what mine is. But I have 2 batteries, so it ends up being, I end up getting more amp hours with 2 batteries. But this is just 1 battery. IPM motor. I want to know how many watts it is. God, I want one of these fucking things so bad. Yeah. Oh, never mind. Holy shit. I'm way off, guys. It's way more batteries than I just said. At least for this one. 128 LG M-50 21700 cells in a 16S 8P configuration. I don't know what that means. That's why I said 16, because 16S or 17S, it has something to do with the charge. I don't fucking know. It's a 2400 watt hour and efficiency motor. More effective range than the newest Suron X. $128 is what I just said. Yeah, you could use 128 batteries. No wonder it's expensive. Good God. Let's say each battery costs like $5 a piece, right? 128 times 5 is $640. That's about right, because I spent $600 for my spare battery. So yeah, that's about what they're charging. Pretty close. You're getting a little bit of a discount because you're buying so many, I guess. But we sell the Triple X as an off-road bike, limited to 20. If you remove the limiter, you do it at your own risk, and the bike will go over 40. Yeah, it'll definitely go over 40. Let's look up the Teleria's top speed. Oh, look at the R and the F. I think Justin has the R. And it has a 45 amp hour battery. It looks bigger too. I can't afford that, man. It's too expensive. My car was cheaper than that. I spent. It's about what my car costs. I spent like $3,500 on my car. That's it. So it's expensive. I may as well just get a souped up moped. Yes and no. I mean, all e-bikes are technically street legal because nobody needs any paper. I mean, local mandates, some of them you have to be registered, right? But overall, all e-bikes are just there. You know what I mean? But technically, they're only supposed to go, I think, well, there's classes to it too. Class 1 is only 20 miles per hour. Class 3 is like 28 to 30 miles per hour. So, yeah, it all depends. There's so many factors. So, but these things are generally going to be considered illegal soon, most likely, because kids do crazy things on them. They go really fast with wheelies, and they have gangs, Suron gangs. I mean, they do all sorts of shit with these. So they draw a lot of attention, and yeah, they go fucking fast. I mean, they can go 70 miles per hour in like a heartbeat. So they're definitely a danger. What does that mean? You can get them on YTOH plus. YT makes me think YouTube. Oh, 75 mile per hour plus. I don't know if they can go faster than 75 miles per hour. Not stock. But 70, yeah. I think Jay Hayes only gets the shitty stuff. I don't think he's ever had any nice bikes. Although I've only just got into e-bikes. I used to kind of like scrunch my nose at them because I think they're lame. I still do think they're lame, but I'm in a situation right now where I need to use an e-bike for the next like month or two. So that's what that's why I got one. I'd probably just got a moped. I just got to drive my neighbor's Vespa. He's got like a 70s Vespa. I got to use that the other day. It was a fucking blast. It goes pretty quick too. I'd like to use that. And I hate scooters, but that just because it's so old, it's like gets a pass. A Ducati. Well, what kind of Ducati? Like a fucking street bike? Yeah, well, I don't want a bike where I gotta like basically sit on it like parallel or horizontal. I mean, I don't want that. I want a cruiser. I just want it to be able to go fast, Really? I'm about to look it up and see what he's got. He ain't got no Teleria. He's got all stupid shit from what I've seen. When he does his drone shots, they don't even look real. Sometimes I think they're like video game simulations. Like they look fucking weird. They look funny. It's funny seeing him do anything, honestly, except for sitting at a desk. Like it's just weird. It just looks weird. All right, let's see. I typed in J Hayes and like a T, and it like brought up some rapper. I guess there's a J Hayes rapper, which makes sense. It sounds like a ghetto rapper name. The conservative hood bull from New Jersey. The affliction shirts. Yeah. The most cringe, like Jersey Shore to the fucking.
At least, I mean, the guy don't take himself too seriously, too often.
Weird. He's either like if he just stayed in like self-deprecating joke mode all the time, he'd be a lot better off. But when he tries to get like tough and serious, it just like kills the whole fucking thing. Oh, what do you know? A gay ass looking e-bike. It's called a High Boy. I hate the like foldable ones that look like stupid ass bicycle. Like, oh, that was a good shot. I don't know if they meant to do that on purpose. Yeah, they had to. That was a really good shot. I guess you guys can't see any. Of course, you can't see what I'm talking about. He did this shot where it's like a real low angle pointing up at him, and he used the reflection from his garage door that was open to shine back to see to see all of them. But they had all this vape going through the air at the same time just for that shot. So it had to be like, I think it was intentional, like a stylish shot they did. Good on him.
No, it's not a nice seat.
It's a stupid little triangular bicycle seat, and that's what I hate. I hate those little fucking seats. Oh, I hate seats like that. They hurt. They're not comfortable. How is his fat ass saying that's a nice seat? That would hurt after like 5 minutes of using it. Maybe because on an e-bike you can just sit there and you don't have to pedal. It wouldn't be as bad. I never thought about that, I guess, but I'm not into those kind of seats. I need a real full seat for me to actually want to fucking use the bike. What's another brand? He doesn't have any Suron videos. He doesn't buy any of this stuff. He just gets sent it. So if it's not a cheap, shitty one that they're gonna send a 2,000 viewer vapor reviewer or whatever, he's not gonna get it. He's not like Happy Tail. What's his name? Happy Trail or Happy Tail TV? That guy gets all the good shit.
He's got a ride one up video.
I keep on looking at Jay's bike videos. Oh my god. These are the things that make me cringe, these videos. Not because of the bikes, not because of him. It's because it's him doing bikes. When like he was the fucking world class high end reviewer. Has him and Mark Todd are the most high end reviews of any vape reviewers ever in the world. And because he just didn't feel like spending the money anymore, he's not gonna do any more high end reviews. Motherfucker, dude, you got so much money. You can't buy some fucking vape gear and do some videos. Like, I'm poor. I got an excuse. You're not. You can buy whatever the fuck you want. So why can't you got all these dedicated viewers? You got motherfuckers that pay you $50 a month to exist. And you can't fucking fork out like $100 a month to buy a fucking product? Get the fuck out of here. Like that's just ignorant. That's just ungrateful. I'm sorry. I know I wasn't going to talk about this, but a couple beers in, I don't give a fuck. I think that's ridiculous that this guy had all these subscribers, all this shit, and he just doesn't care anymore. That lazy, can't make a goddamn vape review. I don't like making vape reviews either. I hate editing. Shooting it, I don't mind. Editing is a pain in the ass. I still do it. And I don't even have a Patreon or nothing. I do it just from the heart because people are bored and they want to see products. You know, you got nothing but time. You got tons of money that you make for doing shit at this point. Not to say he never did nothing for his money, but I'm just saying at this point, you're just living on borrowed time and you can't make a goddamn vape video. I say this as a disgruntled viewer, basically. I didn't care about all the bullshit antics as long as he forked out the products to review. He's rich as shit because he owned like 3 vape shops. He's good with money. He's just good with money. He's not good with words. He's not smart. He's just practical and makes good business decisions. I mean, you don't have to be really smart to make good money, and that's the problem. Because the wrong people have money, basically. You just gotta be real fucking cutthroat and sinister in this life to make it. And just have a little bit of fucking brains. You know, as long as you think of the, no, nothing implied, but think about the penny pinching Jew kind of mentality and how that has progressed. And like, that's who makes money. People that like are obsessed with making money. It's that simple. I mean, I have disdain for, as much as I want money, I don't want money for the sake of having money. I just want money to be able to do certain things. That's the difference. Some people are obsessed with just the idea of making money, and they're the ones that succeed the most, investing, stocks. I'm not that, you know what I mean? But that's how you need to be. Fucking cryptocurrency. You know how many of these goddamn high-end people don't do shit at all? They just like make the right decisions with stocks and investing, and they think passive income, basically. I mean, it's just that's the world we live in. Hard work doesn't mean shit. That's a fucked up thing. So I work hard as fuck, but my job doesn't really pay shit. So you're only left with the. It's not. There is no solace in that, but just like the imaginary solace of, well, I work really hard. Great. Golf clap for you. See, like this reviewer, Sir Ronster, he's got 1 million subscribers. Okay, so like he's like a legit YouTube person. Anybody that doesn't have 1 million subscribers is not a legit YouTube person, in my opinion. I mean, this is like someone like Grim Green. I don't know how much they make, or not now, even in their prime. I wonder like how much he really made a month. I would love to know the details. That's one thing I got to give Jay Hayes. He will answer those kind of questions if someone poses them to him. He doesn't hide that kind of shit. It's like one of the only things I really can get down with about him is that he just takes it a little too far. He's real, but he's like over the top at the same time. But at least he don't try to play nice, not mean it. Right. XT600. This thing looks like a Suron, but it's not. The Me Load. Now, I actually looked at one of these, the cheapest one they had on Amazon, just to see if it was something I could pass off in the meantime while I wait for my other one. It was like, it was cheap. It was too cheap. Cheap enough I knew it would probably be a piece of shit, but he's got this good one of it. I guess the brand has a few models. Where'd it go? I just looked it up and now it's disappeared. What did I do? I just typed it in and now it's gone. I don't see any purchasing options. You know, when are they going to make these things cheap enough? See, they'll never be cheap enough because of inflation. It's just a fucking... Dude, we gotta get rid of fucking this, this government. XT600. Isn't that what I typed in? That's cheap, $2,000. He's wrong. I doubt it's like a Suron. It only goes 35 miles per hour. It is not a Suron, sir. Baby Suron. Nothing like a Suron. 40 is not a Suron. What y'all saying? Yeah, well, his pretentious thing is it's partially a gimmick, but it's partially real. And that's the problem. If it was all bullshit, see, because I've tested these waters to see, like, if I could break the ice. Like, if I was, usually people that act like that, if you approach them equally as sincere and nonchalant and self-deprecating, you break the wall. You end up breaking the wall down by default. Your shit equalizes out their shit, and then you can just level out and see each other for who you are and just be. He's not like that. His ego is too fucking up there. So it's a gimmick, but it's not quite a gimmick because his ego is that inflated. That's the thing. I've tried to come at this guy like from a more like stripped down like level with him kind of thing. He's too stuck up. Yeah, money is power, and I just goddamn, I just squandered. I didn't. It's not like I had that much money, dude. If I was just like, that's the shitty thing. I mean, I wonder how many people say that to themselves though. Like, does everyone say that to themselves? Maybe they do. Like, if I had a good bit of money, would I be able to make like something really good out of it? Um, does everyone say that to themselves? Because I feel like I could say that to myself and really mean it. But I feel like some people, if they had a lot of money, they just like buy like stupid random shit forever, and like always go out to eat or something. You know what I mean? Like if I had a good bit of money, I feel like I really could fucking like utilize it. So I don't know. Honestly, I do want to get into it though. Like, I feel like it's the only way to. I don't know what to say beat the system, but for like better terms. Whoa, Kevin, what did you just say to me? Son of a bitch. What did you just say? Please, we all know you just earn money to support your troubling $600 a week boot habit. I'm an addict, dude. What do you fucking want from me? And well, because of my 60 hours a week, I've been making a lot more money. I'm about to drop a crazy amount of money on boots. Probably later today. One for myself, one for Father's Day gift. You gonna run? All right, bro. I appreciate you hanging out, Kevin. Shit, this might be the longest vlog I've ever done. So there's that. I should probably get off the fucking computer because I really want to get some things done today. Let me just read up. Oh, you all laughing at me, huh? I see. Zion, yeah. Yeah, where were you? Where were you? We kept asking about you. I was like, God damn, I got this question, and Zion knows the answer, and like he just disappeared. You got to go back. You got to watch all 7 hours of this vlog to see the question we were asking you. Zion, come on, dude. Zion, come on, man. Jesus Christ. Every time you do this, you disappear. We got questions. You got answers, but you just fucking flake off. Son of a bitch. Don't do that next time. Zion. Zion. Jeez. All right, guys. I'm going to leave too, I think. God damn, almost 4 hours, man. Holy fuck. What was I thinking? All right. It's been real. Nicholas, Kevin, greatly appreciate you. And all y'all in the ether. Y'all enjoy your day. Appreciate the tuning in, the likes, the subscribes, the comments, both comments. And yes, I will see you, Zion. You got a lot of explaining to do. You got a lot of catching up to do. All 10 hours. All right. I'll see you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Adios. Goodbye, Nick.